Hey, what's up? I got here a little bit quicker today. Look out. Not by much, but I'm here. Slightly better.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let 'em burn, let 'em burn.
I think Oliver's mom's all sauced up tonight.
They wanna let the world decay.
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe and retire. That's my new plan.
Fade away, we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. Burn away, we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
You guys are really bad at slots. By the way, you guys are really bad at slots. Oh, I didn't tell you guys the other day. My niece hit her first home run in softball, and it was a grand slam walk-off. Grand slam. Liam got to see it. He went to the game and watched.
Kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes.
Atsuko can't be here tonight. She's meeting with some Chinese ambassadors or something. I can't remember what she said. The Chinese PTA. That's what it was. Time for the intro, I guess.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
What's up, brother? It's me, Will, from the Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is the Cold Beer Confessional. Thanks for hanging out. I got here a little earlier today. It's still not good. It's really bad, but I got here earlier. I actually worked quite a few hours today, so I just got here kind of late. Then me getting some stuff ready. I was trying to go live earlier, then some stuff happened out in the driveway, so I'm here. Thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, Will Bird, Cold Beer Confessional. Have you guys heard everybody doing that "What's up, brother" shit? Man, that stuff, that's crazy. I follow this guy on TikTok. Hold on. I follow this guy on TikTok that is a middle school teacher, and he's always like explaining the trends to like people who don't understand the trends. I have no idea what his name is. I wouldn't even know how to look him up, bro. But he did a video of what it's like this week at the local middle school. It was pretty funny. It's from that guy. What's his name? Do you guys know who I'm talking about? The streamer that everybody thought was autistic, but I guess he's not. His name's like Scratch or something like that. All kinds of people are doing it. What's his name? Let me see if I can find his name. Hold on. What's up, brother? What's his name? Sketch. His name is Sketch. You guys seen Sketch, the streamer? I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him. Here he is. Hold on, I'll show you. This is the guy that's currently going viral, and every little kid and even adults. There was somebody in the in Major League Baseball. I don't know much about baseball. I don't really watch it. That got on base the other day and went, "What's up, brother?" It's quite the viral trend. Let's see if we can get it here, and I'll show it to you. There you go.
Special plays, special players. Some people give, some people take. Me, I only take. I'm the evil Salvation Army. You know that? I'm bad will. I'm bad will.
So that's him. His name is Sketch, apparently, and he's been going viral since like the first of the year. But then another streamer, Jinxie, found him, and after that, he really blew up. Clips that made Sketch famous. Let's see. He plays video games. He plays Madden and shit. Oh my god, that was crazy.
Question. That's really a dumb question.
I don't know why he has all those ticks and shit.
Really fair.
Are you sure you want to keep playing, Sketch? Are you sure you want to keep playing?
If you
Is
score
this
another
Morty?
one, we're picking new teams, okay? This is not what I picked.
Now, he claims he doesn't have, like, Tourette's or he's not autistic. There's nothing wrong with him, as far as he knows. But he has all these weird tics that I guess people like to pick up on and imitate.
This is not what I imagined. This is not what I was thinking of, okay? I want someone with a little speed here. Nick Mullins ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
On third down, it's Purdy.
Over the top. Debo, secure. Hey, come on. I do this shit for my mama and my little brother, too.
Touchdown.
Just like
That's a good play.
Sketch, there's levels to this, Sketch. There's levels.
He's beating shit up.
I know that. And I'm at the top.
I don't know why he's so
So
viral.
you keep talking, it's gonna get loud.
Yeah! Yes!
These are real. They're real. No cords. No cords. No funny business. Nothing funny here. I'm a real player.
And that's what they have to do.
It's okay.
What's up, brother? I don't know. I don't know why he's so viral, but both my kids know about it. And apparently all the younger generation knows about it. But his name is Sketch, and he's been going viral lately. That's why you keep seeing everybody doing this and saying, "What's up, brother?" I'm trying to keep the older crowd here, trying to keep you well informed on what's going on, so you can know about the viral trends that are going around, so you don't feel like you're left out the next time you see your great grandkids and they say something weird. See, who knew you were going to come here to learn something, huh? Anyways, okay, so I wanna take a time to address something. So the other day we were talking about Kyle, or you guys remember Kyle? He made the really funny videos, the really funny Phil videos where he did he synced up the sketches, he did the dances, he did everything. We'll watch one. Hold on. He did the Phil dances. He remade all the sketches. Here's the dance one. We'll watch it. Can someone tell me what? Yes, I can tell you what Skibbity Toilet is. So Skibbity Toilet started it's a show. It's a show, basically. A YouTube show. It started as almost like a joke. This guy just kind of animated with free assets. So like when you go to animation software or video game software, there are free assets. So he basically found a free head, a free toilet, put those together in a free guy in a business suit and started putting those together. And it was just like a little, like a, I don't know, like a 3 or 4 minute clip of like these guys just talking to each other. One was a toilet with a head, and the other one was a guy in a business suit. Well, apparently that video took off, okay? That video took off. The Skibbity Toilet video blew the fuck up. And when it did, it almost created this like lore behind it. So it went from just like a talking toilet, a toilet with a head talking to a guy in a business suit, to like this planet they live on. And they're fighting for independence. And one of them's like the corporate overlords, and the toilet guys are like the freedom fighters. And it like completely advanced to where it has its own world, its own characters, its own backstory, its own lore. Like it just blew up. And the guy who made it made this whole backstory for it. So like if you watch the first video, you're like, oh, somebody just put this video. It's not even well made. And if you watch a video now of Skibbity Toilet, it's like, it looks like something you'd see like a Star Wars, right? There's like this battlefield, like an animated Star Wars. There's like this battlefield and people fighting, and there's these main characters and main bad guys and main good guys. It's insane. But it started out as just this like clip that someone just threw together with about 5 minutes of work. Plus kids like to say skibbity, I guess. So like skibbity, a lot of times, it depends. So skibbity can mean good or bad. Ohio means cringy. And Riz means like your game on like flirting with girls. So the new saying that come out of this is Skibbity Ohio Riz, which means you have really bad, really cringy, like flirting, like game with girls or guys or whatever. So the newest phrase is Skibbity Ohio Riz. And that means you have bad flirting skills with whoever you're flirting with. Anyways, back to it. Kyle Wells, everybody. He's got it perfect. Get it. Phil doesn't want you to retire. Oh. He's always stealing, taking your money, making his bank account higher. Phil doesn't want you to retire. Good job, Kyle. That tattoo's pretty cool. That faded, like, American flag. It's time for me to get a new tattoo. Chat. Pretty good. Anyways, so we were talking about Kyle because recently Kyle started a GoFundMe for his business, and Phil shared it and called Kyle a follower. And everybody thought that was weird. And I personally knew that Kyle had originally followed Phil. Now, someone told me he was a big donor of Phil's. And I think Shaq kind of confirmed that, said he had donated like at least $1,000. I think she said like $1,700 or something to Phil back in the day. But he left Phil, and then he started making these funny videos about Phil. Now, then he started a GoFundMe or a Gift Send Go. It's the same thing. I call everything a GoFundMe. And this is him. It says, helps Wells Plumbing and Wells family. And then the story was, it says, my business and family have been affected by a political attack on my business. I went to a Trump rally back in September of 2021, and my signage was on my truck, and I had my flags flying. Had one of those flag poles that extended to 20 feet in the air. A liberal TikTok guy at The Good Liars with millions of followers made a TikTok with my truck and didn't issue an assault, but left it open for his. So he didn't issue like a call to action, but left it open for his followers to attack my business Facebook page, Google review, and Yelp page. I lost a lot of business because of the video. Fast forward to about a year later, in business and a business I was doing work for, a huge apartment complex, saw it and owned it. I think this is updated now. Saw it and owed me close to $100,000 for work already performed, and they ran me off the project without paying me. They cited that I was unable to keep up with the project, which was a lie. That, in turn, put me owing a plumbing supplier $85,000, to which they came after me for. I was going to pursue legal action against the company, but they're set up to get over on people with a lot of shell LLC. So my lawyer said the best thing to do is put a lien on the building. I was unable to pay the amount. Kyle, I don't know if Kyle sees this. I don't know if he watches replays or whatever. But if you see this, I think I would have somebody else rewrite this. I think you do a good job with all the details, but I don't think it flows great together. I would have somebody else rewrite this. Hell, I'll rewrite it for you if you want me to. I was going to pursue legal action against the company, but they are set up to get over on people with a lot of shell LLCs. So my lawyer said the best thing to do is put a lien on the building. I was unable to pay the amounts to the supplier, so they just issued a judgment against my company, which led me to having to shut it down. I reopened another LLC in hopes that one day I could start again, because it was my dream to own my own company to provide for my family. They're now coming after me on that, and I'm scared how this is going to affect my family. I worked hard to become a master plumber and pursue my dream of helping people in service and creating plumbing systems that I'm proud of. And it has been taken away because of hatred of my support of Trump. There's a goal of 85,000. They've raised 32,000, right? Anyway, so the last time we talked about this, I didn't understand. So I was looking for the TikTok video. I couldn't find it. I was looking for, I was trying to figure out what happened and how this worked. And we read some of the reviews and they mentioned JFK. So Kyle reached out to me, which I was glad of. Most people, when I question anything, they just get mad. They're like, this fucking piece of shit. Well, but Kyle actually reached out to me. He wasn't mad and he explained it. So I'm gonna show you what he explained to me. First, we're gonna look at the TikTok video, because the guy kind of did fuck him. Okay. Now we've watched At the Good Liars on TikTok, and we watch them interview Trump people, and they say the dumbest shit. But this guy kind of did put him on blast. Okay. It wasn't just like, hey, look at this truck with this flag here. Like he goes, oh, so if you need a plumber who believes in JFK Jr., you know, it was pretty bad. So here we go. We're gonna watch the TikTok. Kyle sent it to me.
There's a flag here that says Trump, JFK Jr., where we go one, we go all, with a little Q in the Jr.
Now, Kyle did say this isn't, he was a full Q-tard, and he isn't any longer.
Here that says Trump, JFK Jr., where we go one, we go all, with a little Q in the Jr. So this guy obviously believes that John F. Kennedy Jr. is still alive, and he's going to become the vice president with Donald Trump sometime soon. So if you're looking for a plumber who believes that John F. Kennedy Jr. is alive and well and faked his own death so he could become vice president with Donald Trump, Wells Plumbing is the way to go.
So I don't think, so Kyle probably should have shown up with the magnets on his truck. But the guy could have just made fun of the flag and not said, you know, it's still in the background if people wanted to call. But saying, like, if you need a plumber who still believes that JFK Jr. is alive, then you can call Wells Plumbing. And he basically put him on blast, right? Because I was wondering if they interviewed him, if they were just walking through, if his truck was just in the background, because I didn't think that it would cause that type of response. And where did they get the JFK Jr. part from? Well, it was from there. And even the caption of the video says, when you want to promote your business, but also believe JFK Jr. faked his own death. So he kind of did put him on blast. I don't want to get into whether he deserved it or didn't deserve it. That's kind of irrelevant because it was out in public, right? You can say, hey, that he didn't deserve it, but yeah. But then what? Are we gonna start limiting what people can do in public? You know what I mean? Like, he was well within his rights. He's allowed to do it. Was it the most graceful? No, probably not. But we can watch it again.
There's a flag here that says Trump, JFK Jr., where we go.
Right, it's a shitty thing to do, but
Q in the Jr. So this guy obviously believes that John F. Kennedy Jr. is still.
Now, if he'd just left it right there, that would have been fine. This is Kyle's truck with the magnet. He does have a Q in the background. And again, he admitted, like, this is 100% when he was a full-blown Q-tard.
Jr. So this guy obviously believes that John F. Kennedy Jr. is still alive, and he's going to become the vice president with Donald Trump sometime soon. So if you're looking for a plumber who believes that John F. Kennedy Jr. is alive and well and faked his own death so he could become vice president with Donald Trump, Wells Plumbing is the way to go.
I wonder if they originally even blocked out the number, or if that's something they had to add to re-upload the video, because usually most people would just put up the video and then they would get a warning or get it taken down from TikTok because it had like a phone number in it, and if TikTok catches it and calls it harassment or whatever, and then they have to put up that black box. I wonder if it even had the black box on it originally. Hard to say. Anyways, so Kyle texts me. He sends me this clip. Then he says, yeah, it may have been September 2021, because it was, he said October, but the one that we found kind of near where he lives was in September. Oh my God, is that rain? Hold on just a second. That's the loudest fucking rain I've ever heard in my life. Holy shit. Hold on just a second. Let me make sure that our awning is put up, especially if there's wind. Like I have fucking, I can hear my voice slightly, like a monitor from my own microphone, and I was talking, I heard it over my voice, and I'm in a cinder block building. Damn, that was loud as hell. I don't know if there's any wind with it. I can't see. I'm just looking at my security camera. I can't see anything that would show whether there's wind or not. And it's raining so hard, it looks like the rain's going everywhere. Anyways, yeah, there are people that no matter what will kind of treat you less than just because you voted for Trump. I don't go that far, but clearly if you're believing some of these crazier conspiracy theories, you're not my type of person. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. He says, may have been September of 2021. Also, this is when I was full into Q and Phil. I literally stopped watching and supporting Phil, the following November, I believe. I think a lot of what helped me break free of what I had been ingesting for a year or so were the attacks. Also, there was a lot more negative reviews, but Katie over at the Phil Godlewski Exposed, I didn't know this happened. I didn't know this about Kyle. All I had ever seen about Kyle was just the videos. And this was a time when our groups weren't supposed to mix, right? If you come join my group, Katie would fucking ban you. It's a storm. The storm is upon us. So I didn't know this happened, but apparently Katie and the Exposed group were helping him remove a bunch of the negative reviews, which we were talking about the other day. You can get them off Google. You get off Yelp. It says Katie and crew a while back helped me get rid of most of the negative reviews. Hope that clears up a lot. I honestly don't know for sure, but I do know the guy that was over the huge. So this is about, I was like, see, I was asking, so this guy saw your video and then a year later decides that he doesn't like you. And he thinks it may have to do with the video. But he definitely thinks it has something to do with him supporting Trump. So anyways, here it is. I honestly don't know for sure, but I know the guy that was over the huge project was from out of town and didn't like me wearing my Trump sweatshirts, hat, or anything like that on the job. If he or they caught wind of all the Google reviews, then yes, I believe he would have ran me off. The only reason they sided was I wasn't able to keep up with the project because that's technically a breach in contract. The reason the material bill was so high, so this is another question I raised, is how come it was like $85,000 worth of materials? That's a lot of materials. He says, the reason the material bill was so high was I had just bought two complexes, so two different apartment complexes full of fixtures and materials, plus all of the Schedule 6 or the 6-inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe, 500 feet, and fittings to hook up the building mains that weren't in my contract, but I did anyways to keep the job going, and turned in a charge order for that. So this wasn't like supply. So this wasn't in the contract that he was supposed to buy these supplies, but for some reason they had a delay or whatever, and then he was supposed to get reimbursed. But as soon as they owed him all this money for reimbursement, basically, is this same day they fired him. It wasn't in my contract, but I did anyways to keep the job going and turned in a change order for that, which I've done before. Like I've went and had to buy like, we show up and our materials aren't there, so I've went and had to buy like welding supplies. I've had to buy PPE. We got sent out one time. They didn't send us any fucking gloves or safety glasses, and guys expect that when they show up to a job. So I think if we require them to wear it, we have to supply at least a set of them. But anyways, I've done that before, and if the company would have fired me right after I bought like $3,000 worth of PPE, I would have been fucked, right? Anyways, then it says, and also what was on the material bill was in-wall material for one building and a laundromat on site. They strung me along saying they would pay until they just didn't. And my lawyer put the lien on the property after it was already open. My biggest failure is believing the best in people. So it does sound like he was kind of screwed, right? Like, yeah, he probably shouldn't have showed up with a magnet. He probably shouldn't have done that. Like, that's asking, especially as much as people hate Trump, that's asking for somebody to dox him or show up or whatever. But it sounds like he really got screwed over. These are all things that in my head I was just asking the question. So I even told him, I was like, I hope you're not mad, but I was just curious of what happened. But now that I see I can't change my quality settings, that's probably because it's a Friday night. There's a lot of people streaming. I'm not a partner, so I don't get transcoding. If it's only available for like 2,000 people and I'm number 2001 in the list, I don't get it. Anyways, now that I see all this and he's typed it out, I could understand all of this. How the bill of material was so high, how he said the guy was from out of town and didn't like him wearing his Trump stuff. So there's a pretty good chance if it doesn't sound like he was having any trouble keeping up with the job. The guy seemed to have a grudge against him because of his Trump stuff. They could have easily seen the reviews. It doesn't seem like he was having any trouble keeping up. In fact, it seems like he was charged a bill of materials to keep the job going, right? So I usually watch in 160p. It's just because there's probably a lot of people streaming. So transcoding is a thing that partners are guaranteed, but I'm not a partner. I'm qualified for a partner, but I didn't apply. It's affiliates only get it if it's available. So it seems like it makes a lot more sense. And I said, thanks, man. I knew there had to be a better explanation. I appreciate it. And he said, yeah, I probably should have went into details, but everything I've been through since that stupid rally has been a lot. Then he goes on to some, I'm not going to spread all his stuff. He goes on to some personal stuff. That's right. You'll have those at big jobs. Then he goes into some personal stuff that was also going on at the time and says this is one of the reasons he left everything, right? He left all social media. A lot of stress, a lot of stuff going on, and he left all of social media. Someone told me he joined Expose. That's where he's from, kind of, right? I don't think so. People are making claims like, "Oh, he just joined Expose, so now they'll give him money too." I don't think that's true. I think he posted the GoFundMe and was content with his life having moved on. Then a lot of people stepped up and donated for him, and he thought, "Hey, well, those were my friends. Those are the people in the Expose group, not the Phil group. Those are the people I hung out with. I'll go back over there and say hi," kind of deal. I'm not super. At first, I was questioning everything. Now I think it starts to make sense. It starts to make sense now. Yeah, I think the kicker now is because I think he thought. I'm assuming he thought if he started a new business that the other business was closed down, he wouldn't be liable for any of the stuff that the old business did. And I still don't know how that works legally. And I think now that he's trying to start a new business, that all this is catching up with him. And they're trying to charge it against his new business. I would assume, I don't know how the law works in Georgia, but I would assume if you have one business and close it, that if I open a new business, well, I don't know. I don't know how that works because technically I could just open a business every week, right? I could open a business, take out a line of credit, close the business, say it's gone. open a new business, you know, to charge a bunch of shit, close the business, say it's gone, right? I don't know. I don't know how that would work. And he said he had a lot of stuff going on. That's why he left. He said, always enjoyed your show. No BS. He told me I could use a TikTok and what we talked about. He said, I watched it. I was watching your show when you were looking for it. I was like, dang, I got to look it up too. I was able to find it. I said, damn, he did you dirty, specifically mentioned your business by name. And he said, yeah, it didn't take long for his followers to attack. I had to port my number to an answering service and get a new number because my phone was blowing up so much, which they do have a pretty big following. This was from 10/12/2021.
The flag here that says
he didn't do him no favors at the end of this video for sure.
Trump, JFK Jr., where we go one, we go. The flag here that says Trump, JFK Jr., where we go one, we go all, with a little Q in the junior. So this guy obviously believes that John F. Kennedy Jr. is still alive and he's going to become the vice president with Donald Trump sometime.
Sure. Like I when you say hate on someone, that's probably people probably imagine or picture me or one of my shows when I first, or when I cover someone, right? But I try not to take it to the real world. I try not to, like, I'm not coming after your job. I'm not coming after your kid's school. I'm not coming after your wife who isn't even online. It's more like I'm coming after your beliefs, and we might joke and make fun, but I don't want anybody trying to get somebody fired or their business shut down or shit, unless it's like an actual detriment. So like, if you're selling filters claiming they filter out snake piss, and snake piss is what's going on, like, obviously. Yeah, that's, and I don't even know, this guy may not even know that what he did here basically destroyed a business. He might have no idea.
Sometime soon. So if you're looking for a plumber who believes that John F. Kennedy Jr. is alive and well and faked his own death so he could become vice president with Donald Trump, Wells Plumbing is the way to go.
There you go. He definitely didn't do him any favors. He says that he is opening a new business now, but he currently works for someone else. I think someone found that out too, that he was working for a different place and they were confused on the names of this, that, and the other. But there you go. That's Kyle's. And then the Give Send Go. So if you want to support the Give Send Go, you're more than welcome to. The link is there. It's in our chat too. On Telegram. There's a couple different people. Why did Phil share it? So I'll read you Shaq's post because I've said this till I'm blue in the face. But let's go to Shaq to the future because I think he explains it well. Okay, here's a follow-up, but this was in the original one. It says also, important to remember that Kay Wells was there way before the filth hate group Exposed was infiltrated by Filthy Phil and the triple agent Jessica CG, and a.k.a. Katie J. Narcissists are cancer. They are insidious, destructive, and they spread like wildfires. Phil gets off at the thought of people turning against Kyle and all the rest of his biggest critics. Just look at the fucking mind games he tried on his minor child victim. When people show you who they are, you believe them. But I think there was an original post. Let me see if I can find the original post. I don't know if Phil was confused and thought this was still one of his followers because maybe he had seen the name before back when he was following. It was, or if he did this genuinely. So like, Phil shares my stuff. Phil's claim is like he's just a generous person. He thinks everybody deserves help, right? But he has to know, like if I share a GoFundMe and Phil shares it, even the one that didn't go to me, even the one that didn't go to me, that went to my nephew, when Phil shares it, you saw what the hate groups did, right? They were like, "Oh, Will's paid off. It was $1,000, $1,017. He's done for. He works for Phil now. He's paid off." And Phil knows that's a reaction. So could Phil genuinely just be like, I love helping people. Technically, sure, that could be an option. Does Phil also know that anything he shares will have the hate groups immediately throw out any legitimacy to the people that are fucking that he's sharing it for? Sure. He knows that, right? He knows when he shares my post that maybe, like even when he shares one of my videos, he knows that some of his fans might come here. He knows that I might talk about him that night. It just depends on what we get into, right? He's taking a chance because he also knows that all the people that are already predisposed to hate me will be like, see, they're on the same tide. This is why you can't trust Will. This is why you can't do this. Even that guy, who's that guy that's always talking shit? Godzilla? That Godzilla account over on Telegram. I can't express enough how much of a hypocrite they are. I can't express enough how much of a fucking hypocrite they are. Check this out. So they claim all the time that I sold out, right? I sold my morals out, that I sold out to Phil, that they would never sell out their morals, that I was the one who did it. I sold out my morals and my beliefs, and I did it, right? That they would never do this. They even run around screaming, I don't have a number. I don't have a, because I did that like where I was like, I have a number or whatever. I don't have a number. I don't have a number. Well, here we go. Apparently they do. Because if you look at this post, someone says, they're talking about me and Mariah, basically. It says they both need to take a hard look at themselves. Change is always possible. Begging for Phil to pay you off doesn't yield much credibility. I've never begged anybody to pay me anything. Doesn't yield you much credibility. And welcoming Phil in your social circle speaks worlds. Okay, that's the first post. Listen to the second post. Listen. It says, we had an opportunity. So I'm assuming this is them and their partner, okay? We had an opportunity these last few months to gain good money doing something that was not aligned with our beliefs. So the way they talk about me, Godzilla talks about me, they would never do this. I'm a piece of shit. I was bought off by Phil with no evidence whatsoever. None. No evidence exists. They just think that me covering Nick is different, or Phil joining our chat is different. That means that I'm paid off, right? Anyways, if you believe them at their word, they're basically saying, if they were presented with an opportunity to make money that didn't align with their beliefs, what did you think they would say? They'd be like, fuck you. I don't sell out for nobody. I don't have a number. I'm not selling out my beliefs or my morals or my stances for no amount of money. Turns out that's not true. Here they are. It says, we had an opportunity these last few months to gain good money doing something that was not aligned with our beliefs. We actually began and then did it for several weeks. They fucking sold out while they fantasize about me selling out. While they fucking tug on their fucking micro penis, saying, "Oh, Will got bought off by Phil for $1,000," but here they are admitting that they fucking sold out. There's no number, none. I don't have a number. We're not like Will, that piece of shit. It literally says, we actually began. Then, after several weeks, we walked away. Choices speak of your values. So all you're telling me is that you did sell out and then you thought better of it a few weeks later while you're making all this money? Cool. That's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and rank myself above you because I've never sold out. You can say, well, Will said he would. Hell yeah, I'd stop talking about somebody for $1 million. But that hasn't happened. So right now, if we're keeping score, I haven't sold out and you did and admitted to it. You stupid fuck. Then after several weeks, walked away. Choices speak of your values. We were confronted with money or living up to our beliefs. We were confronted with money or living up to our beliefs. And what did they pick? Money for a couple weeks. Then suddenly they're like, oh, we got to live for our beliefs. It's the same thing they fantasize about me doing with nothing to back it up. And here they are admitting it to us. We were confronted with money or living up to our beliefs. We chose money for a few weeks, and they're probably exaggerating that. It was probably a few months, right? This is not a story that people tell because they're proud of it. It was probably fucking months. But at least they're admitting they sold the fuck out. It isn't easy to do the right thing. We are happy with our decision. Yeah, after you made money for the few. Imagine if you're like, well, I thank God I was never a bank robber. I robbed one bank, right? $6.3 million, and then I never did it again, and I'm happy that I never chose to be a bank robber. But you just said you robbed one bank. Nope. We're happy with our decisions. We chose on that day, after we robbed the bank, we would never become a bank robber. Okay. What? Yeah, we were faced with either robbing a bank or living by the law, and we chose robbing one bank and then living by the law. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's funny that everything that people come at me with is just them. Like, even down to stupid shit, like he's fat and he vapes. Okay, Nick. Like, are you shitting me? That's you, bro. That's you, bro. What are you talking about? That's you. That's 100% you. Jesus. Let's see what this is. I dare you. So Oliver's mom is drunk, and she's over in different groups. So apparently someone made a post that Phil Godlewski's Twitter was banned. And then someone says, I still see his account. I guess is this P? It says, I still see his account. And then Oliver's mom puts a clown emote on it. A clown emote. So this person says, don't stop that in here, please. OM, Oliver's mom. And then Oliver's mom puts a giant clown emote, and somebody puts a flipping off emote on that. And then someone says, you calling me a clown, OM? Hope not. That was Annika M is the one who put the finger. And then says no. P says no. Yeah, it is P. I see it now. No, me. This is her first warning. Now, I haven't read anything past this, but it seems like it gets more interesting. OM says, nope, not you ever. Talking about Lynn. No, me. This is her first warning. Didn't mean to start anything. Sorry if I did, says Lynn KG. P says, all good. And then Oliver's mom says, I dare you. So P says this is her first warning, as if she's going to ban her or take some type of action. And Oliver's mom says, I dare you. This bitch. I don't know how cirrhosis of the liver affects decision making, but obviously not real well. Look at this. I dare you. This is her first one. I dare you. That's funny. Is that a threat? Follow up on yours. Follow up on yours. Is that a threat? Says P. And then Oliver's mom says, follow up on yours. And when she says follow up on yours, that was basically like, this is your first one. So a threat to ban her, I guess. If somebody fucking dared me and I had the power, you bet your fucking ass you're getting whatever. I don't do dares well. Too competitives. Anyway, Oliver's mom's been having a little mini meltdown. Pebbles posted I'll read it to you. So Pebbles posted a screenshot of Melon, right? And Melon was saying, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. What's up, brother? Okay. So Melon McBully Beater. Is that an invitation, or you're not going to try to catfish me like those other guys, are you? Am I the bully and you're the bully beater? I mean, if you can squeeze under a table or something where I don't have to look at you, I don't know. How soft are your hands? Send me a video of how soft your hands are, please. Anyways, Melon says, G Pebbles, if I'm not mistaken, is my anatomy your business? He is a giver. That's right. What's up, brother? That's right, big dude. What's up, brother? I have a beautiful girlfriend, and I don't think it's appropriate you asking about private details like that. Now, I'm assuming this is in his chat, but Pebbles says this. Pebbles says this. Hey, Melon, this is my first time checking in since early this AM. When I say this, I mean it. You are the absolute furthest thing from my mind, so needless to say, your anatomy, or lack thereof, is even further than that. I know I haven't been showing you any love lately, but it's for the best, buddy. You'll survive. Now, that was Pebbles' post. Now, fucking Oliver's mom has a fucking mouth. So apparently this post is old, right? It's old. It's like a month old or some shit. Oliver's mom. Now, Pebbles never says, you posted this today, you piece of shit. Or, this was posted at 6:32 this morning. So Pebbles sees this and responds to it. But she never says it was posted today. She never says it was posted fucking yesterday. She never says it was posted. She just says, this is my first time checking in since early this morning. I'm assuming somebody sent it to her. I don't know how old it is. Who cares? She never made a claim about when it was written or what time it was written or when it was posted. She never made that claim. So Oliver's mom has a full fucking meltdown. A full fucking meltdown in the chat saying, are you trying to convince people that this was written today? Are you trying to say this was written today? And Pebbles is like, no. Show me where I said this was written today. And Oliver's mom just keeps asking the same question over and over and over and over and over for like 2 fucking hours. For like 2 hours. She keeps asking Pebbles if she is trying to convince people that this post was written today. Pebbles keeps saying, nope, I never said anything about it being written today. And she just keeps asking the same question. Are you pretending Melon's post was today? Someone says, why does it matter to you? And OM says, do you know the answer? She's just arguing with everybody. I asked the question, is that post from today? No one said it was. Jesus Christ. Can't you go do your dialysis quietly in the corner? This is getting ridiculous. And then she got mad at Yori because she said something like, I hope my mom dies in her sleep without any pain. And then Yori's like, you hope your mom dies? Like, what the fuck? That's pretty fucked up. They had a little bit of a meltdown over that. And they're posting like, this is one of Will's mods right here. You know how Will's mods are. This is Will's mods. Oh, there's something special. I don't know. She's on a good one tonight. She tied one on. Friday night, sitting alone at home, getting fucking shit-faced drunk. Shitty drunk. Going all the way. What else? Those are the things I wanted to cover. You're more than welcome to donate to Kyle if you want. The link is posted about everywhere. Not to Twitter, Telegram, Discord. It's about everywhere. Yeah, you're more than welcome to do that if you want to. And then, that's for Kyle. I think he did a decent job explaining it. I'm glad he reached out to me. But there was some other things that I wanted to cover. Let's see. A bunch of people just talking about. I'm tired of covering these people that just fucking talk about me all goddamn day. And then to wrap it up, they'll be like, but he's irrelevant, so who cares? You spent 14 and a half hours talking about me. What do you mean? Who cares? Jesus Christ. You spent all day fucking talking about me. Then you're like, but who cares? That's so irrelevant. People try to hide in my fucking group with the same profile pictures or the same names, whether they like and post talking shit about me.
You two just resubscribed for 21 months. Heart the laughter.
There you go. Heart laughter. Thank you very much for the resubscription. So someone today is over there liking posts of people talking shit about me and Mariah and then sitting in my chat, just hanging out. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Special teams, special players, special plays. I'm the bad Will. That's going to be my new nickname. I'm the bad Will instead of the good Will. All right, let's see what else we got. I hear that somebody said that, what's that guy's name? Somebody told me that a research journalist, I think his name's Max Azarello or something. I think they said he's going to Burning Man this year. I don't know. I only skimmed across the top of the article, but he seems to have a lot of stuff on his Substack. A lot of stuff on his Substack. His Substack is called the Ponzi Papers. And let's see if we can open that. This basically a manifesto, I guess. Well, you know how much I like a good manifesto. Oh, that's the wrong one. There it is. I have set myself on fire outside the Trump trial. My name is Max Azarello. Azarello. And I'm an investigative researcher who has set himself on fire outside of the Trump trial in Manhattan. So is this guy a Q-tard? No, it doesn't seem that way. Is he just a gigantic Trump hater? Well, it doesn't really seem that way either. He is a truth-tard, I guess. He's a gigantic conspiracy theorist, but the conspiracies don't revolve really around Trump or Q. Instead, it revolves around cryptocurrency. It revolves around cryptocurrency and the fact that he thinks that cryptocurrency is a giant Ponzi scheme and the rich, powerful, and wealthy are all doing this. And the reason they're doing it is to make money off of it. Like, you don't realize, if anybody's bought crypto, invested in crypto or whatever, you don't realize it's a Ponzi scheme yet. And they're just going to jerk the money away from you. And right now, the reason that inflation's happening is because the money's being reported twice, because you think you own it as a crypto. They know they really own it, so it's reported it twice. So it looks like there's more money in the system, which causes inflation. But we'll read some of this. We can't read all of it. My name is Max Azarello, and I'm an investigative researcher who has set himself on fire outside of the Trump trial in Manhattan. Now, he literally posted this right before he did it. This extreme act of protest is to draw attention to an urgent and important discovery. We are the victims of totalitarian con. And our own government, along with many of their allies, is about to hit us with apocalyptic fascist world coup. So our government is about to hit us with a apocalyptic, so world-ending, fascist, we all know what fascist is, world coup. These claims sound like fantastical conspiracy theory, but they are not. Anytime someone says, like, I know this sounds like a conspiracy, but I swear it's not, they probably believe a conspiracy and they're trying to convince you. They probably believe a conspiracy and they're trying to convince you. Yes, I am settling my dad's estate and stuff tomorrow. I've got to get 2 vehicles running and his house cleaned out over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Sounds like a conspiracy theory, but they are not. They are proof of conspiracy. If you investigate this mountain of research, you will prove them too. You will prove them too. If you learn a great deal about Ponzi schemes, you will discover that our life is a lie. If you follow this story and the links below, you will discover the rotten truth of post-truth America. You will learn the scariest and stupidest story in world history, and you will realize that we are all in a desperate state of emergency that requires your action. Now, he calls himself an investigative journalist, but I don't think he was. Let me see. I don't think he wasn't. I don't know what his job was. Who was Max Azarello? I know there's a bunch of videos of him talking about I was reading the quote. Starting a revolution. Let's start a revolution song. The man who set himself on fire outside a New York court where Donald Trump's hush money trial was set to begin on Friday. It looks like he only did it in front of the Trump trial because of attention, right? He wanted attention. Trump's hush money trial was set to begin on Friday, threw a stack of pamphlets into the air containing conspiracy theories before immolating himself. The man, identified as Max Azarello, who traveled to New York from Florida, and apparently his family didn't even know he had left Florida. Traveled from New York to Florida, is alive but in critical condition. They were almost like a conspiracy theory type of pamphlet, some information in regards to Ponzi schemes, and the fact that some of our local education institutions are a front for the mob. Senior police. Yeah, he says that basically Harvard is, all they do is they make people who make Ponzi schemes. And that's why tons of billionaires come from Harvard. The pamphlets contain a link to a newsletter titled The Ponzi Papers, which is what we're reading, where Mr. Azarello shared several theories linking crypto billionaires, former U.S. President Bill Clinton, sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, Hollywood actor Rob Lowe, to an apocalyptic fascist world coup. I have set myself on fire outside the Trump trial, read the title of the over 2,600 word manifesto outlining the self-described investigative researchers' multiple theories. My name is Max Azarello, blah, blah, blah. The manifesto also includes photos of printed pamphlets containing similar theories, including titles like The True History of the World, Haunted Carnival Edition, NYU is a Mob Front, and what is a cuss word that starts with a D and ends with a T? Dumb shit. They blocked out a word that starts with a D and ends with a T. And it says Secrets of Our Rotten World. It says, he's holding up a sign here that says Trump is with Biden and they're about to fascist coup us. Damn it. Yeah, I guess. Damn it. Secrets of Our Rotten World. I don't think that fits. Dipshit secrets of our rotten. It's something to describe secrets, right? It's an adjective. Dipshit secrets, maybe. Anyways, bro, when Trump called Biden a mental midget, I swear I think Trump's been watching and stealing my lingo. Or maybe Phil's been feeding it to him. Days before the self-immolation, Mr. Azarello was pictured holding a sign while protesting outside the same courthouse, which read, Trump is with Biden, and they are about to fascist coup us. After the news of the act, several videos of Mr. Azarello reading out parts of his manifesto, as well as singing and calling on viewers to start a revolution, have gone viral. He's apparently a very, very small man. This is an old photo. Obviously, he looks different than this. He has like long hair and stuff now. But how tiny is he? Photo of a younger, smiling Azarello with Bill Clinton also surfaced on social media. Mr. Clinton is one of the 100 influential people Mr. Azarello sued in his conspiracy theory filed case that was tossed out by the court last year. So he filed a case about this, okay? He filed a case with, I don't know where he filed it out of. It doesn't matter. But he says in his newsletter he never expected the case to go anywhere. He just wanted the case published in a public court, and that he wanted it published with a public court and his name attached to it. Police said they have labeled him sort of a conspiracy theorist and are investigating the incident. His condition is not good, but as of now, he's still alive. They added, he's probably going to die. It was just, they didn't get to him quick enough. I got a video of it. Hold on. I was wanting to see, like, it says, who is he? I want to see, like, what was his job? Did he have a job? Where did he go to school at? Something. I didn't just want to see fucking, who is he? Oh, it's this guy. Oh, he calls himself self-employed. Here's a LinkedIn. Let me make sure it's accurate and somebody didn't just make it. We've got a secret fascism problem that looks like his. Peter Thiel started a bank run on Silicon Valley. So you guys remember when the Silicon Valley bank collapsed just a little while ago, right? It's not deep state. There's a word that's blocked out. It's obviously I know what DS means.
Nana Griffin just gifted 10 subs.
Thank you for the gifted subs. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. He went to school at UNC. Thank you. I'm on his LinkedIn now. I bet you that's on here. So it says he's a research investigator from March 2023 till now. He was a solutions engineer at OpenTent from December 2020 to 2021, a senior consultant at EgenX, marketing operations manager at Goliath Technologies LP, a growth manager at Strong Towns. He went to Rutgers and UNC at Chapel Hill. You're right. Rutgers afterwards. So he's well educated. It looks like he even has some decent jobs. But here's what happened, okay? When Silicon Valley Bank, that was a lot of gifted subs, by the way. Thank you again. When Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, he lost his fucking mind. He lost it legit. He lost his mind. If we read this, he'll say it. You'll learn a great deal about Ponzi schemes. You'll discover that our life is a lie. If you follow this story and the links below, you will discover the rotten truth of post-truth America. You will learn the scariest and stupidest story in world history, and you will realize that we are all in desperate state of emergency that requires your action. To my friends and family, witnesses, and first responders, I deeply apologize for inflicting this pain upon you. But I assure you, it is a drop in the bucket compared to what our government intends to inflict. Because these words are true. This is an act of revolution. Now, usually somebody does this to get attention, right? We've seen it with that service member who did it over a Palestinian war, the war in Palestine and Israel. We've seen other people do it in the past. Obviously, this is the most recent one. It says last March. Now, listen, this is basic. Remember when I told you that last March, or that when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, it was Peter Thiel who did it? He is the guy who runs, what's it called? Ventures. He runs a, what's his investment company? Founders Fund, Ventures Fund, some Founders Fund, maybe. Which is a venture capital, investment
Captain
group.
Smart has just resubscribed for 13 months.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Peter Thiel caused the Silicon Valley Bank collapse. Like literally, he got upset, started texting people because their numbers were down in their earnings, started texting people. Between him and about 6 other people, they pulled enough money out that Silicon Valley Bank could not operate. He personally caused it. And not only that, but he made it public. Even if him and his 6 friends, let's say he could only get 2 of his friends to do it. He made it public that he was doing all this and caused other people that weren't huge investors, but still had a decent amount of money in Silicon Valley Bank, caused them to pull it out. He 100% was, I think he should be held liable for it, to be honest with you. Anyways, last March, a billionaire named Peter Thiel started a bank run on Silicon Valley Bank. I knew enough about Thiel that I found this incredibly suspicious. My hunch was that this was intentional, though I couldn't fathom why. I think it was 100% intentional. I think he should have been held liable. When he's saying, like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pulling all my money out of here, and if we pull all our money, it'll go down. That's causing a bank run. That's inciting a bank run. It's not as bad as Phil saying run them or whatever, but still. I began investigating online, which is probably his first mistake, right? You can find anything. The internet is so full of weird and crazy people. I could find a theory or someone who believes just about to support anything that I could make up, right? He's Salesforce certified, advanced administrator, and app builder certification. That's my next goal. I want to learn how to build an app that I can download on my phone and use on my phone. Even if it's just like reskinned someone else, I want to learn how to build an app. Anyways, I began investigating online. and quickly found cryptocurrency's fingerprints all over it. The bank run occurred just days after the Silvergate Bank, which catered almost exclusively to cryptocurrencies, right? That was the bank that went down right before the Silicon Valley Bank. So Silicon Valley was a bunch of venture capitalists, hedge fund, tech companies, startups, all those, right? The one that went down before that, the Silvergate Bank, was almost exclusively doing with cryptocurrencies. They were a crypto bank. Meanwhile, several crypto cheerleaders were all over financial media warning of a regional banking crisis, and nobody in media was addressing the clear crypto connections. So what he's saying here, or what he's going to allude to in a minute at least, is that Peter Thiel was and others were taking banks down on purpose because that erodes your belief that the bank is a valid system, right? It takes your belief away that the bank is a valid system and makes you more likely to invest in their cryptos, right? Just like Phil used the banking stuff to say, okay, get your money out of the bank, put it in silver, put it in this, put it in that, put it in gold, send it to me, bury it in the backyard, whatever. He claims that others were using this stuff, the bank collapse, and maybe even causing them, or at least causing one, maybe causing others. And the reason they were doing that was to get you to invest in crypto. Why would they get you to invest in crypto? Because it's a Ponzi scheme and none of the crypto is actually real. Or at least that's his client. Oh, shit. I accidentally turned my camera off. I hit the shortcut and didn't even realize it. It says, several crypto cheerleaders were all over financial media warning of regional banks. So they're telling you more banks are going to collapse. More banks, more banks, more banks. Get your money in crypto. I dug deep into the financials of Thiel's venture capital firm, Founders Fund. Oh, I was right. Founders Fund. And eventually uncovered the following, all proven many times over. Now, this is all we're going to read is these bullet points. It's really long. Cryptocurrency is our first planetary multi-trillion-dollar Ponzi scheme. What is a Ponzi scheme? A Ponzi scheme is where I take, let's say I take, how do we do this? Here we go. I want this written down so you guys can see it. I'm just opening a notepad. Okay. So let's say a Ponzi scheme investors. So I get investors and I have round one of investors. And then let's say I take 10 people for $1,000 equals $10,000, right? That's round one of investors. Now, I promise them returns. So investors are promised substantial returns. Investors are promised substantial returns. Sometimes these returns are almost guaranteed. Like, I guarantee you I can get 3%, 5% of your money, right? So then, once I've got this money, I've got $10,000, right? I'll go to a round two of investors. And then I will, take 100 people for $1,000. And then I'll take 100,000 right from them, $100,000. Now that's round two. Now I'll take the money from round two in investors and use it to pay the returns, which should be which should be like money I've made on investment. The returns as if it were investment returns back to the round one investors. Okay? So I get round one investment money, and I tell them, basically guarantee them returns, right? I basically guarantee them returns. And I say, okay, we'll give you a 10%, 8%. The numbers don't matter. Then I'll use that and say, I've got 100 people and $10,000 invested, and we're looking for a round two of investors. Don't miss out, blah, blah, blah. When round two invests, I'll use that to pay round one as if I invested their. I'm not investing any of their money. I just pretend like I am, right? And I use round two to pay off round one. So that means round three would pay off round two. Round four would pay off round three. And I just keep doing that over and over and over and over and over again. So these people that are getting the first couple rounds of a Ponzi scheme are making money. They are making money. They think this guy's running a scam. How? I'm making more money than I've ever made in the stock market. But it's the people at the very end. When you get down to the newest people that just come on, those are the people that are losing their ass because there's never enough money. If I take money from group 2 and give it to 1, 3 and give it to 2, 4 and give it to 3, 5 and give it to 4, all I'm doing is moving it up one section. There's never enough money. It can't go on forever. Eventually, people are going to stop investing or to get slow or whatever, and I can't even prove what I've got on the books. That's a Ponzi scheme. It's not the same as a pyramid scheme. It's not the same as an MLM. It's not a Ponzi scheme. Very specifically uses the investors' funds as if it was money made in investments to pay off other investors. So I'm just taking money from these guys and get the new guys giving it to the old guys. Newer guys, older guys, newer guys, older guys, over and over and over and over again. That's a Ponzi scheme. So how could crypto be a Ponzi scheme? Well, I'm not real sure. Other than if he's claiming that everybody invests and they think they own crypto, but really they take the money out of crypto and give it to Peter Thiel and his friends, I guess. I don't know. Here you go. It was expressly created for this purpose by a laundry list of rich and powerful people out of Stanford, Silicon Valley, and Harvard and Facebook. The March 2023 bank failures were all intentional. The banks were used to move out stolen Ponzi money. The banks were used to move out stolen Ponzi money. This signals that they are no longer dumping cash in to keep the cryptocurrency Ponzi afloat. So basically he's saying they're not putting money back into this Ponzi scheme, which is how you keep it going, right? That's how you keep people fooled, is you got to constantly keep putting money into it. You're taking money, don't get me wrong, you're stealing money and paying yourself, but you also got to put money into this so the investors don't get nervous, be like, weren't we supposed to get a return check this month? And that it will soon go insolvent, as all Ponzi's must. When the Ponzi scheme goes insolvent, it will take down half the stock market with it. The perpetrators used their major companies to pop into the blockchain so they could funnel money out from the crypto exchanges. This includes Google, Tesla, Apple, PayPal, Facebook, Disney, Walmart, Target, InBev, Zoom, and countless others. So he's claiming that they funnel money to the crypto exchanges through all these businesses, or these businesses are propped up with fake money, I guess Ponzi money, that's going to disappear. It is a Ponzi scheme so large that it created global inflation, which is why the price of Bitcoin has been a remarkable leading indicator for inflation rates. It hasn't really, though. I don't think Bitcoin's been that great. Like, if you're looking at it like, oh, well, Bitcoin hit an all-time high, and then 7 years later we had world record inflation, sure, but it's not like a marker to where you know within like a year or something. Victims who bought crypto don't realize their money has already been stolen. So the money gets double counted by the victims and the criminals. So if you buy crypto, you report it and say, I have $100,000 worth of crypto. And the person who's running the Ponzi scheme says, no, I have and it's getting reported twice, which causes inflation. once by the victims and once by the criminals who stole it. As it turns out, our elites are awash in Ponzi schemes. Stanford's StartX.com investment fund and Jeffrey Epstein's Programmed for Evolutionary Dynamics he ran at Harvard are both fake science Ponzi factories that these schools have invested billions in. They are filled with fraudulent companies that use smoke and mirrors to promise miraculous new technology, but always collapse while the perpetrators only get richer. So they are using this to make themselves rich, and it's through Harvard and Stanford and all these schools, all these businesses. Everything's involved, right? Everything is involved. Bitcoin is, well, I guess, let's see, from the 1 year, it went down some. One Bitcoin was like up, over the past year, it's up $35,000. So I don't know that it did a dive, but market summary for Bitcoin. Yeah, it's still way up. Bitcoin's highly anticipated halving event takes place. Bitcoin halving, what you need to know. So Bitcoin halving was automatically set up when there's so many of them sold or whatever it's supposed to have them, half them. That was set up in the past when they wrote it. But it seems like Bitcoin's still doing well. Here we go. The last one. Funneling trillions of dollars in stolen cash through the stock market created the largest stock market anomaly in history. The stock chart signature of a Ponzi scheme is a massive increase while they stack up cash and then a massive fall as they funnel out stolen cash. So, oh shit, I didn't even do that. Let's see. My sister and brother-in-law, while I'm looking this up, my sister and brother-in-law are moving to Kentucky. They are moving to Kentucky, and we thought it was going to take a little while, but it seems like it's going to be quicker than what it was. My sister just can't. I don't think she can stand to just be here constantly. With everything here reminds us of our parents and stuff we did. I mean, we grew up here with them, and it's just a lot for her to take. It's a lot for all of us to take. So she wants kind of a change and maybe a fresh start. And there's some other reasons why too. That's not the only reason. But we were expecting them to be here for a while through the summer or whatever. But now they are, timelines got pushed up because they need new jobs there. And I think the timelines got pushed up and they're going to be moving a lot quicker than what they thought. I was trying to find a Ponzi scheme, if there was a Ponzi scheme that was like on the stock market, what the graph would look like. But I'm guessing it would just be like he said, it would be it'd go straight up then straight down. I don't know. So I've always heard it's not good to run away from something like that, but she just doesn't know what else to do. She's basically like, I mean, it's crippling, right? I have to drive by the hospital where I used to take my dad for his appointments every Tuesday on my way home. Like everything here reminds us of our parents. So it's a fresh start and a change, and they both have jobs lined up there. And what was supposed to happen was she was going to go ahead and move up there. He was going to stay here and keep working his job until he hit retirement, which is about 2 years from now, and then travel up and stay with them on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then come back. So they were still going to be here a lot this summer and coming down to visit and hang out or whatever. But now it looks like it might be moved up, and they are going up there a lot quicker. So kind of sad about that. They live right beside us right now. The stock chart signature of a Ponzi scheme is a massive increase while they stack up cash and a massive fall as they funnel out the stolen cash. This chart shape appeared in all the companies listed above. In order to explain the massive anomaly, our criminal government unleashed COVID on the world and told us these are the stay-at-home stocks. So this doesn't make sense, first of all. So you're saying that, are you saying that these stocks went wild and the government's like, oh my God, how are we going to make people not see this? So they unleashed COVID after the stocks started going up. That way, when they knew they crashed because they were a Ponzi scheme, then they could say, oh, those are the stay-at-home stocks. So he claims that COVID was just to cover this up, that COVID's man-made, and it was just to cover this up. Where in Kentucky? They are going to, let me look at something. I'm trying to give you a general area. Basically, they're going up, 75 runs out of Knoxville into Kentucky. They're they're just a little ways out of Knoxville. So maybe like an hour, between an hour and 2 hours up 75 into Kentucky. So basically, is that the middle of the state? Does 75 kind of split Kentucky like it splits Tennessee? They are off Interstate 75, basically. Yeah, I'm sad that they're leaving. I know this probably sounds shitty, but we were all three close with our parents. We just weren't close with each other as much as we could be. I mean, we didn't hate each other. We talked to each other, and if we needed each other, we called each other or whatever. But since both of our parents have passed away, we've gotten a lot closer. And stuff that we used to do or be or say or interact with our parents, instead we've replaced each other with that. So we talk to each other a lot more. We see each other a lot more. She lives right beside me right now, at least until they figure out what they're doing. They sold their house already. She's a school teacher, like I said, so she wants to make it through the school year. And so she can get her summer pay. If she makes it all the way through the school year, she'll get paid for the summer for 2 weeks, even though they know she's not coming back. But if she has to leave early, she forfeits that. And he works for a utility company and here locally and makes decent money. And he's close to getting retirement, but even if he quit today, it's not that he wouldn't get retirement. He just has to wait till he's 55 to get it. So let's see. I've got something for you. So this is the guy. He thinks that all cryptos are a Ponzi scheme. They were set up by the world government. And from this world government, they're getting ready to bring an apocalypse on us for the rest. Oh, my goodness. Viral News NYC published this photo. Hold on. Let me open this photo. I don't know if I could show this on the screen or not. I mean, it's not that graphic, right? It's just a black face. Set himself on fire today in New York City while he was in an ambulance en route to a local hospital. So his face is, I'll show it to you. There's some blisters. This is the guy who's currently still alive. So his face, it's not that graphic. His face is black, and obviously you can tell there were blisters on it, right? So there you go. He obviously put some type of a bunch of accelerant on it. You have to have an accelerant because the body doesn't burn until it gets burning. Like at first, it doesn't want to burn until you get it hot enough. Then your actual like fat and oils and shit burn, right? There was a video of this. So CNN accidentally broadcast this, in case you didn't know. CNN actually broadcast this. That's just them putting him out.
Flames. There is chaos that is happening. Multiple fires breaking out around his body and person. We have seen an arm that has been visible that has been engulfed in total flames. There is chaos that is happening. People are wondering right now if people are in danger. I'm looking across the courtyard. There is a man racing to his aid. There's codes coming off to try to put out.
People are talking about how she broke into like 1937, the news coverage, where they're like out there and they're like, she almost sounds like she's calling a horse race.
We have members of security details. NYPD is rushing to the scene. They are trying to come now. Officers are on the scene. A fire extinguisher is right now present being put on this man to try to put out. People are climbing over barricades to try to separate the public to put out the flame on this man. He has lit himself out in fire in front of the courthouse right now. We are watching multiple fires.
She does go hardcore after it. There is a, let's see. So I'm not, okay, so this is the same Viral News NYC. Viral News NYC are the people who put this out. Let me copy this address. I'm not going to play the whole thing, I guess. I don't want to get in trouble. It's not that graphic because you can't really see anything. It is kind of like shocking because you don't expect a body to be set on fire. But here is the video. Here you go. So, oh, that's not what I wanted. I want to make it full screen. All right, here's the video. And like when it starts off, you can see him down in this bottom corner. That's him right there. Okay. And he's already dumped an accelerant on him. You can see it kind of on his chest. Okay. Do you think that people that do this think it won't be that bad? Do they go in thinking they're going to die? Or do they go in thinking like, oh, somebody will come over and save me and it'll, it can't be that bad. Which I'm assuming it's fucking horrible. Being burned alive has got to be horrible, right? I know eventually like the nerve endings are like burn off. You can't feel anything after that, but here it is. And this guy's yelling, police, police.
Police! Hey, police!
So he dumps another jug over his head right there while the guy's screaming. A second jug over his head of some type of accelerant.
There's a guy lighting himself on fire.
So he's basically snitching on him. Hey, police. There's a guy over here lighting himself on fire. And I think that makes him kind of rush even more. Now, if you see all these papers on the ground, these are all the pamphlets he threw out. These are all the pamphlets. You can see them on his website, but they're basically just pamphlets that kind of say the same thing we were reading on his website. It's a bunch of pamphlets that say mostly the same shit, right? Ponzi scheme, all that shit, right? People are mad. Anyways, here we go. People are mad because that, what is her name? Before we finish this video, her name is, it's like, it's the Karen lady that Phil talks shit about. The Karen Q lady, Crash the Matrix, is that it? People are mad because she shared my post about, she's calling out Derek Johnson now, and she shared my post. And it says, it's my post about Derek Johnson. And it says, why did Derek delete the portion of his manifesto where he claimed the reason he left the army was because he was being tortured by other soldiers in his unit that supported Obama? Suddenly it's just a bad knee? That's weird as fuck. And then I said, I've got the original. It was originally on his All Documents website. The truth about Ukraine kind of shoved into the middle. You can still read the edited document, but here is an excerpt from the original. And then people are like, oh my God, you shared a video of Will Byrd. You've lost all your credibility now. Like there's one person, where's this one? So one person says, Will Byrd facepalm. And then Crash the Matrix says, the message, not the messenger. Stop thinking with your emotions. So I put, nobody exposes these idiots quite like I do. And they put like a undecided emote or an eye roll emote or some shit. Someone says, good grief. You use somebody with a trash mouth like Will Byrd to try to prove your lies? You lose big time in any effort to prove credibility. Derek's contracted by Trump to speak truths. You are jealous he's got a strong following. Get a life. These people are fucking insane. Insane. Anyways, back to this. So the guy's yelling at police. He's saying, hey, let's go. Let's go. Here we go.
He's like...
Your something link is broken on my iPad? I don't know. Coldbeer.fund. Let's see if it loads. It isn't loading on my PC right now. Let me see. Website might be down. All right, here we go. Well, watch this while it's loading. You can always just go to like buymeacoffee.com/coldbeer or something like that.
He's lighting himself on fire. Hello.
So that's literally the match or the Zippo he's got right now. Now you can see how much accelerant he's got on him. You can see how much accelerant it's got on him. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's loading currently. Coldbeer.fund is not loading. You can go to buymeacoffee.coldbeer, buymeacoffee.com/coldbeer, donoclip.com/coldbeerconfessional, whatever. He's got the Zippo now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and warn you. I'm gonna show the part where he bursts into flames. The part I'm not gonna show is where he like falls to his knees, he's rolling around, he's doing all that or whatever. But here's the fireball. So I mean, it literally he barely just arcs the lighter and it goes right. It goes. He's on fire for so freaking. He's on fire. We'll see when he gets catched on fire. It goes so fast. So at 12 seconds, and he's on fire all of this video. He's on fire for over 2 minutes. 100%.
Hello.
Like as soon as you can hear it, click, click, boom. Like all that accelerant and the fumes off of it, right? You know, gas. I don't know what he uses as accelerant. It looks like kerosene in that blue can. But liquid gas isn't even flammable. Like you can put a cigarette out in liquid gas as long as the fumes are controlled in some way, a vacuum chamber or whatever. But the fumes are insanely flammable.
Hello, police!
Big fireball. He instantly straightens out his arms for whatever reason. I don't know if that's a reaction, but a huge fireball. That looks like a kerosene jug, and he burns for over 2 minutes. It does take a long time for the police to arrive. Stop, drop, and roll. You're not putting it out with stop, drop, and roll. He's on fire for over 2 minutes, and it was all to spread this Ponzi scheme message. He thinks that the world government is trying to kill us through a crypto Ponzi scheme. So the cops take like forever to arrive, and he's in pretty bad shape. But he is moving around. Like that's him raising himself up, right? Nobody's raising him up right there. But they take a while to arrive. He's still on fire right there. That was over 2 minutes on fire, I guess. Let's see if it'll fucking load. But yeah, to get a fucking like, it seems a little excessive to get to expose a Ponzi scheme, right? Or is that just me? Seems pretty excessive to expose a Ponzi scheme. But there are parts that I don't want to show, like where he is he basically falls to his knees. He's just sitting there on fire. You can still see him moving and shit. I'm sure by that part he probably doesn't feel anything, but still it's just not something I want to show. He's not going to survive that. I don't know how long he'll stay alive. As of right now, he's still alive. Damn it, it does not like to seek, does it? He went by M. Crosby on his Substack, even though that's not his name. That's what he went by on his Substack. Damn it. And Substack's what I was reading from earlier. I don't want to have to keep refreshing this stupid fucking thing, but I want to see the post part, right? Like I said, there's a portion that I don't want to show you, but we can go to like right here. We'll start right here. So they all rushed over. It took them a couple minutes to get there. They do have a couple fire extinguishers. But like his pants are still, he's still burning. Right? They use the fire extinguisher. It's hard to put out a fire where you use two gallons of kerosene. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna keep fucking burning. And the can in the area he was standing in, his backpack, all that stuff catches on fire. Yeah, burning body's pretty distinct. I don't think you ever forget the smell of a body that's been burnt. So they're pointing and saying, bring us another, bring us another fire extinguisher. I think he'll probably won't survive very long. They're going to have to graft artificial pig skin or something. He's got no skin left on his body. I think so. Usually what we see with these, when it's like that bad and it took that long to respond, like they can basically keep them awake with vitals, vital signs and stuff for like a day or two, and then they just tell us they passed away. Don't let that person burn, some lady screams. You think they're just standing around? That first video I was showing you, when the guy's like, police, police. When the flames actually take off, he screams police even louder. And then he's like, anybody got a bottle of water? Like that could put it out. The guy videotaping is like, anybody got a bottle of water? The woman screaming, don't let that person burn. What are they supposed to do, lady? He set himself on fire.
Jesus Christ.
Nobody was really prepared for this. And it was in the area where people were allowed to be protesting, walking through, using signs or whatever. You could say that, somebody could have ran up and tackled him and tried to take like a citizen, because there weren't no cops. There weren't any cops that close. But I wouldn't risk it, right? If a guy threw an accelerant on him and I saw him going into his pocket for a lighter or whatever, like you call me a pussy or whatever. There's no way. Once you hop into that accelerant, you're going up in flames too. If he gets the chance to light it, I'm not gonna hop on that.
You know what happened? I have the whole video if you guys need it or anything. It's insane.
I have the whole video if you guys need it.
The whole video. I was right in front of him as he's pouring it, and I'm.
Yeah, that's insane.
Police! Hey! Police!
There it goes. So that's the second barrel, or the second.
There's a guy lighting himself on fire. He's like.
He only gets about. I think he decides to do it quicker because this guy's yelling about it. Because the first one, it seems like he dumped the whole gallon on there. That one, obviously, he did not. As soon as the guy says there's a guy set himself on fire, he decides to throw the jug down. I think he decided to do it quicker rather than draining the whole second jug because the guy says it. Listen.
Police! Hey! Police! There's a guy lighting himself on fire.
As soon as he heard that, he sets the jug down.
He's lighting himself
his lighter
on fire.
out.
Hello?
He didn't want anybody to stop him, right? There he is with his Zippo. That's insane, dude. And the closest police are probably like all the way over here. Listen to the way he says police, how loud he says it here, and then how loud he says it after the fireball. Listen.
Hey, police! There's a guy lighting himself on fire. He's like.
You can tell he's desperate.
Lighting himself on fire. Hello? Hello, police!
Police! Like he I don't know if he didn't think it was gonna happen or didn't think it was gonna happen that quick. I don't know, but he definitely changes the inflection on the word police. So that's the guy. Here's his manifesto. It goes on for a while. This is the part about Rob Lowe, if you're wondering. It says, to better understand our form of government, I will point you to one of the most astonishing piece of standalone evidence I have found. Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton's 1988 DNC speech, where he nominated Mike Dukakis for president against George H.W. Bush, okay? This is Clinton's DNC speech where he nominated Mike Dukakis for president against George H.W. Bush Sr. The speech is vile, mean-spirited roast of Dukakis that makes no sense whatever. For Clinton to ruthlessly attack a member of his own party should have been political suicide, and he repeatedly mocks Dukakis's noble and earnest qualities. Then it says, notably, actor Rob Lowe is in this, by the way. Rob Lowe, who was supporting Dukakis, was a victim of a teen sex blackmail operation. A teen sex blackmail operation. At the DNC that year. I guess, I don't know So Rob Lowe had a weird sex tape come out with him and a 16-year-old, right? You guys remember Rob Lowe? He had sex with a 16-year-old. I'm pretty sure this is what happened. In the same year, in 1988, he had sex with a 16-year-old, recorded it, and then it got released. He was 24, and the person was 16. It should have ruined his career. Like, he's a 24-year-old fucking a 16-year-old. You know who that sounds like, right? In 1988, Rob Lowe filmed himself having sex with a 16-year-old. He said it changed his life. More than 31 years ago, actor Rob Lowe went back to a hotel with two young women he'd met at an upscale Atlanta nightclub, Club Rio. Just 24 years old at the time, and during his Brat Pack era, what transpired in that hotel in 1988 would come to define Lowe's life, but ended up causing just a small blip in his otherwise successful acting career. Not long after, a videotape was released of Lowe having sex with those two young women. One was 23 and the other one was 16. The women had taken off from the hotel with $200, a bottle of pills, and the cassette from a video camera while Lowe was in the bathroom. So he claims they stole $200, a bottle of pills, and the videotape. Reports from the time alleged they attempted to sell the tape, but after being rebuffed, decided to distribute themselves. Lowe maintained that he didn't know the teen was so young. That doesn't really matter. Like, that's not a defense, and it shouldn't have been back then either. The legal age in Georgia at the time was 14, although 18 was the legal age to be in such a recording. So really, she just wasn't supposed to be on tape. That's fucking crazy. It should have still in society, should have never watched another film with him in it. Like, even if he wasn't legally arrested because the age of consent was 14 at the time, that's still fucking weird. It changed. If charged, he could face years in prison, but ultimately the actor settled a lawsuit with a 16-year-old's family in November of 1989 and was not charged with the crime. Lowe recalled in his 2011 memoir, Stories I Only Tell My Friends, how his phone stopped ringing and jobs dried up until a part in 1982's Wayne World resurrected his career. In 1990, while on a major press tour for the movie Bad Influence, he spoke candidly about the tape. He made jokes about it on Saturday Night Live and poked fun at his reputation. I don't really care if it's a honeypot or not. He fell for it, right? Like, it would be one thing if they lied about their age and they only did it to get this video or blah, 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 or the sex didn't happen, they were just lying. That's one thing. But if you fall for a honeypot that actually involves a minor, you're just as guilty as if you did. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if it's a honeypot or not. I had people come up to me in the street afterwards and say, hey, you know, I do it all the time. The difference is you got caught. So without a question, people do it. You think people didn't Polaroid each other 15 years ago when that was a new technology? People should be allowed to do whatever they want in the privacy of their own home or their own hotel room. When people consent to do something, they should be able to do whatever they want. Lowe married makeup artist Cheryl Burkoff in 1901 after 3 years of dating. They'd first met on a blind date in 1983 and again on the set of Bad Influence. 2 years later, they welcomed their first son, Matthew Edward Lowe, now 26 and a lawyer. And in 1985, John Owen Lowe was born. Now 24, John starred with his father and Kristen Davis in Netflix movie Holiday in the Wild. There you go. See, anyways, it says, notably, Robert Lowe, who was supporting Dukakis, was a victim of a teen sex blackmail operation at the DNC that year. Since we know Clinton is a close associate with teen sex blackmail artist Jeffrey Epstein, we can suddenly make perfect sense of the nonsensical speech by applying this lens. Bill Clinton is a cocky mob boss who blackmailed Mike Dukakis because Dukakis thought his job was to help the public. He teases out the future public revelation that Kitty Dukakis drank rubbing alcohol. Kitty Dukakis. So he's predicting the future because they make it, right? He says he teased out that she drank rubbing alcohol before that even happened. Yeah, it says in 1989, Dukakis, Kitty Dukakis was briefly hospitalized after drinking rubbing alcohol. In 1991, she published her memoir, Now You Know, in which she candidly discussed her ongoing battle with alcoholism. So she was an alcoholic, and she drank rubbing alcohol, and it put her in the hospital. But they're saying Bill Clinton predicted that. Let's watch this. They got a link to it? It's a YouTube link, right? Okay. Let's see how bad he treats Mike Dukakis.
And honored guests,
Is he mean to Mike Dukakis? We're about to find out. You think he thinks that because she was in a nightclub, that was okay. Hold on just a second. I was trying to read that. I was trying to see if so that's his claim, is they met in the nightclub. I was trying to see if anybody verified this or security cameras or something. Officials believe both women met Lowe at Club Rio. 45-minute of the tape obtained by WAGA-TV are sex scenes between two women, one of them 17-year-olds currently. A voice authorities believe to be the actors can be heard giving stage directions. At one point, the voice quips, "Is it hot in this room or is it just me?" Through his Atlanta lawyers, Lowe has denied having sexual intercourse with Parsons, who was 16 when the tape is said to have been made. The story is likely to get hotter before it cools off. Sources say the producer for City Activities Inside Edition showed up in the newsroom the morning after the tape first aired and offered a staffer $3,000 to obtain a copy of it. I don't know. I would have to know more about it. But it was I guess it was during the DNC.
delegates, and honored guests, it is now time to place the name in nomination for President of the United States, the name of Mike.
They don't ever mention that in the article. They don't ever mention in all these articles. They don't mention that it took place because he was there for the Democratic National Convention. They just say, "Oh, he's in Atlanta. He's partying."
Caucus.
Where's Clinton at? Mike Dukakis.
The name of Michael Dukakis.
Okay.
And for that,
let's see if he says something about his alcoholic wife. That's what we're looking for. Okay. God, old TV's awesome. Arkansas. They're calling him the Deuce. Oh my God, let's go. Eat shit, you lost, Chris M.
Mr. Chairman, I'm honored to be here tonight
to nominate my friend Michael Dukakis for President of the United States.
They're pretty fucking rowdy, aren't they?
We, as Americans, have a lot riding on this election. We face big challenges, big problems, big opportunities. The fundamental fact of 1988 is that we can't take our prosperity for granted anymore in this competitive world economy. We've got to work harder and smarter to preserve the American dream. And that means we need new economic policies.
New policy? I haven't seen him put him down yet. It is weird watching these old videos. It's even weirder when you see them like in this screen form. Like, this is perfectly square. Remember when TVs used to be square?
And new people policies. And that means we need new leadership to take us where we need to go. Michael Dukakis can provide that leadership.
There you go.
Tonight, I want to talk about where Governor Dukakis wants to take this country, what he wants us to do, and I'd like to talk a little about Mike Dukakis, the man. He's come so far, so fast, that all over this country of ours, people are asking questions. What kind of man is he? What kind of governor has he been? What kind of president will he be?
So he was, I think Mike Dukakis was kind of like, I guess you could compare him to like Obama or somebody. He kind of popped up out of nowhere. He wasn't really on the radar, and he come up so quick, and he ran against Bush Sr., by the way.
He's been my friend for a long time, and I'd like to tell you my answers to those questions. I'd also like to tell you why I believe Michael Dukakis should be the first American president born of immigrant.
I walked over 6 miles we'd eaten today.
Parents since
insane.
Jackson. Should be the first American president born of immigrant parents since Andrew Jackson.
Okay, born of immigrant parents. That's not bad.
The other day, when I was back home in Arkansas, a friend of mine came up to me and said, "Bill, are you excited about Mike Dukakis becoming president?" And I said, "I sure am."
Okay, that's good.
And then he looked at me and smiled and he said, "Now I know why you'd want him to be president, but how in the world can you get excited about a guy who mows his own lawn with a hand-powered mower and is so clean he squeaks when he walks?"
I mean, that's not really putting him down, right? So he's in this way, kind of like making a joke about him. He's really building him up, right? So he's a hard worker. He mows his own lawn. He's down to earth. He's just like you guys. He's a real mower, and he's so clean. He squeaks when he walks. So he doesn't have any baggage or any negative things. I would expect this to kind of be this, like they're making these jokes, but it's ultimately planting a seed in your brain that he's a hard worker. That he has no baggage. He's not. I don't think he was mean-spirited in any way.
And I thought about it, and I decided that's one reason I am excited about Mike Dukakis becoming president. You know, Mike's old-fashioned, all right. He's the kind of man who plays it straight and keeps his word and pays his bills.
That's all good.
We say he's the kind of man.
The debate answer that ruined. Here is what ruined Mike Dukakis. Listen.
It could be frustrating to some who think, how can a debate turn on that? But it fed into a narrative fairly or unfairly for Michael.
Who's that guy that ruined his campaign with that weird squeal? He was like, "Yeah," you know what I'm talking about?
Dukakis, that he was too much of a technocrat.
Governor, if Kitty Dukakis were raped and murdered, would you favor an irrevocable death penalty for the killer?
Some debate moments are less about the
oh no
substance and more about
if she was raped and murdered, would you go for the death penalty?
Passion or lack thereof in an answer, and nothing to me jumps out more than what happened with Governor Michael Dukakis in '88.
No, I don't, Bernard, and I think you know that I've opposed the death penalty during all of my life. I don't see any evidence that it's a deterrent, and I think there are better and more effective ways to deal with violent crime. We've done so in my own state, and it's one of the reasons why we have had the biggest drop in crime of any industrial state in America, why we have the lowest murder.
That was the question that ruined his campaign.
Example in the question, and instead talked about.
That's what they claim, at least. Someone said something about a tank, but all I keep doing is this. I just keep seeing this debate where he was, hold on. Everybody's talking about the rape question. Let me see if I can find the video of him filming in a tank. Was it like awkward or cringy or something? God, I really want to troll. Never mind. I'm not going to say that right now. Dukakis in the tank, the making of political disaster. Is that it?
Michael Dukakis enjoyed a 20-point lead in the 1988 presidential election. Until
he had a 20-point lead.
Him trying to look macho in an army tank went public. Does this make his presidential campaign the most doomed in history? Join the debate Thursday at 11.
Oh, that wasn't even it. Backfire. How Michael Dukakis' tank symbolized his... Oh, no. We can listen to this one, too. Hold on. Can't listen to it all, but we'll check it out. It's on 538, the political channel. I like 538 polls and polling.
There's no defining moment in the campaign. Lots and lots of things happened in the course of that 18 months.
I think there are defining moments in every campaign, that turning point. It's just one of those images that sticks with.
Oh, no.
It wasn't important on its own, but it did become enormously important in politics.
You're right.
I didn't lose that election because of the helmet and the tank and that stuff.
You can pick at these moments, but I do not believe any one of them made the difference in this campaign.
The Iran-Contra scandal hit. And I was just appalled. That's really the first time I thought about
That's him. He's part of it in
The
this.
Democratic National Convention in Atlanta.
Michael Dukakis is now formally the party's nominee. The battle with the Republicans is about to begin in earnest.
I have a request. Can I take this jacket of mine off? Thank you.
When the convention was over, and I saw the big lead that Dukakis had, obviously I thought it was going to be pretty tough for the...
He had a 20-point lead.
However, Dukakis is untested in a national campaign. This other guy is tested. He and his people know how to do it. Does Mike Dukakis?
Politics ain't beanbag, and it ain't, hey, let's go do a campaign. It's difficult. Strategic work. H.W. Bush was essentially running a third term of Reagan, and he had a lot of experienced hands at it.
Even though we had deficits in the polls, I never found alarm or deep concern in our campaign. We had a great media plan.
It cost residents $6 billion. What does he think's going on here? The tiddlywinks matching. And he didn't counter it effectively. When they hadn't done that, I thought, this guy's in trouble. What does he think's going on here? The tiddlywinks match?
Dukakis, from the very beginning of his political career...
What didn't they counter?
Unanswered.
It was the attack...
And Michael Dukakis promises to do for America what he's done for Massachusetts.
Those commercials...
So it was like a smear about Massachusetts, how bad it was.
I thought, this guy's in trouble.
And he didn't respond to it.
The tiddlywinks match?
Dukakis, from the very beginning of his political career, and certainly as governor of Massachusetts, had run a squeaky clean operation. I wanted to run what I hope would be a positive and optimistic campaign, and I wasn't interested in getting into a sandbox with the other guy and throwing mud pies all over the place.
Some elections for president in our country have to do with deep ideological differences. Some elections have to do with one candidate being just exactly the right sort of person that the country yearned for. A mental problem, maybe. Nothing you could put your...
When the President of the United States makes a comment like that...
You feel that Michael Dukakis should make his medical records public?
Look, I'm not going to pick on an invalid.
When the President...
The way rumors are planted in politics.
Do you feel that Michael Dukakis should make his medical records public?
Look, I'm not going to pick on an invalid.
When the President of the United States makes
called him invalid.
Like that, the press grabs it. So I spent a whole week trying to explain to people that I was really quite healthy.
They basically started a smear campaign that he was unhealthy. And then when they started asking for his medical records, he didn't release them. They called him an invalid. It's just, again, it's like Dr. Z. He claims to hate all these people and lifetime politician or whatever, but it's a narrative war, right? You just have to start the rumor. An invalid is somebody that's like weak or disabled by illness, injury, accident, something like that. It's almost like Joe Biden riding a bicycle.
Reagan doing that was not an accident, and it was pretty effective. We dropped about...
Would I rather skin a human or be... I'd skin a human in a heartbeat.
8 percentage points in that week.
I'd skin multiple humans.
So Mike Dukakis emerged from his convention ahead, and within 3 weeks, he was behind.
3 weeks.
Done in by a very shrewd Republican campaign.
For more than 40 years, George Bush...
I wasn't alive, so... I wasn't even born till the next year.
When it comes to national defense and leadership, it's pretty tough to match up to George Bush, who's a pilot hero.
I've been critical of the administration. In my opinion, it was spending too much money on high-tech weapons and not enough on conventional arms.
My opponent's views on defense are the standard litany of the liberal left. He thinks that a naval exercise is something you find in Jane Fonda's workout book.
Dukakis was a little bit behind the 8 ball, and so someone came up with the idea that Mike Dukakis should be shown in a military posture.
Oh, no. I can already tell this is going to be cringy as fuck.
Before Dukakis arrived, we had a real kind of crisis of confidence on the advance team because the tank commander's only way to communicate with him was through the headset in the helmet.
And this, you have to remember, like, social media now has changed everything for politics. But back then, the only time you saw them was on the news, right? Or if they came to your town.
But I looked at myself in the mirror with the helmet on. I just said, he is not going to look good in this helmet. This is not going to be good. We talked to the folks in Boston about it, and we were told essentially, thank you for your input. Do your job. And the rest.
Don't put on the helmet. Don't put on the helmet, bro. Oh, God. I can hear people laughing already.
Gales of laughter was the immediate reaction from the press room.
Just take off the helmet, bro.
Laughing so hard they were doubled over.
I want to ride it. You really don't want to ride in a tank. It rides like shit. I mean, I guess it might be cool to just have something that'll drive over a car. I'd rather be in a monster truck. Tanks, Bradleys, they're really bad about when you turn. Oh my God. I can't tell you how many people, when I was a driver for a Bradley, how many people I've almost thrown out of the fucking Bradley, the commander and the gunner, blacked gunner's eyes. So like so basically you got a steering wheel, kind of. It's like a bow tie shape, right? And when you just hit the gas, right, you have a throttle. When you hit the throttle, both of them turn, right? And you're going forward. The problem is when you turn it, and when you just barely turn it, it's not bad. But when it wants differential, a big differential in between the two tracks, like it wants this one going really fast, this one going really slow, or maybe even you turn it hard enough to where one's going forward and one's going backwards, it lugs down the motor. Like the hydraulic pumps or something can't keep up. So what you got to remember in your head when you're driving is when you go to turn, you have to rev the piss out of it. Or if you don't, it'll do a fucking nosedive when you go to turn. And like the gunner's usually like staring through the sight, and the truck commanders or the Bradley commander's not paying attention, running around verifying what the gunner sees, the turret's moving or whatever. So you go to just make like a medium turn or whatever, and it goes wham and slams everybody forward. The driver's basically the only one who doesn't get slammed forward because you're like laid back in a relaxed seat. I've been cussed so many goddamn times. People tell me they'd climb down there and drag me the fuck out of there if I did that again. Thrown a guy off the top of it one time. You just can't remember that you have to rev the piss out of it to turn. It's not nothing like a car or anything else. You have to rev the piss out of it to make a turn.
He has a helmet on. He's tough shit now.
Somebody said he's got a helmet on. He's tough shit now. Look at that strap, that chin strap. Oh, just don't wear the helmet, bro.
Everyone around me in the press corps was doing the same thing, either laughing or pointing or looking at each other like, what's this? How can he do this to himself?
And here he comes. General Patton? General Abrams? No, Governor Dukakis.
45 and a Brad. Yes. It is scary. It feels like the whole thing's going to fucking fly apart. I'm serious. I have fucking PTSD from the goddamn steering. Like just remembering it, throwing somebody out or fucking trying to turn. That shit was wild, dude. I don't know why they didn't make it to where, let's say you're running at like 2,000 RPMs. When you go to turn, why didn't the motor automatically pick up to 5,000? Why do I have to rev the piss out of it just so I don't fucking? It literally felt like you were going 30 miles an hour and just slammed on your brakes as hard as you could go, but not like car brakes where you slide. You're on tracks, so it's almost like. Like on a bicycle, when you're riding a bicycle and you lock down the front brake or stuck a stick in the front tire and you just flip over, that's what it feels like when you fucking go to turn one of these motherfuckers.
Every little kid's Rambo dream.
Why would they make their candidate look so miniaturized? You could tell the helmet was too big.
The helmet fit fine. That's nice. I don't know who had the idea that I would get into a tank. Didn't seem to be the
helmet's too big.
Issue. The most important thing going on that day was the speech that he gave after the tank ride. We'd set up 6 historic tanks on the side of the stage, and we had a giant flag.
As president, I'm going to make our conventional forces one of our top military priorities.
Yeah, you drive through walls and shit. We had one time in Iraq, we had a really good fucking Bradley driver. This motherfucker could drift. We literally, all I remember was they said for the dismounts to get ready. We had dismounts in the back. This motherfucker comes up to a compound. And we are getting it. And you can tell because everything feels like it's fucking falling apart and shit. Tow missiles falling out of the rack. And they told us to get dismounts ready. And this motherfucker come in up to a compound between, like in a little narrow ass city street where the Bradley barely fits, like one way street. And it like opens up into like this fountain area and like a traffic circle. This son of a bitch like drifts the Bradley. Like it's going so fast, it's like sliding on the fucking dirt and sand roads. Ends up, the ass end busts through the wall. If I would have been on the other side of it, I'd have been fucking terrified. It's probably the coolest thing that those people have ever seen right before they die. Like the ass end busts through the wall while he's lowering the ramp. It looked like something out of a fucking movie. I wish we would have had a video of it or something. It was crazy. It was crazy. Busts through the wall and the ramp lowers down on the other side. There's still fucking brick and dust settling. And we could tell before he even turned, the ramp's slow as hell. Before he even turned, he started opening the ramp and fucking takes out this brick wall. And then like fucking dude just comes streaming out to come fucking kill you and all your family. Like it's got to be terrifying. It's like that joke that that what's his name tells about the dogs with helmets and night vision goggles and shit killing people. Shane Gillis.
It was a pretty good speech, and he looked good giving it, and it was very presidential. But it just goes to show the power of image in presidential politics is overwhelming, and one image just totally swamped.
Oh, that's so bad. His chin strap all fucked up. Oh, that's bad.
Everything else that happened.
I
wouldn't vote for that guy. Anyways, let's see if Bill Clinton talks shit.
You can tie to.
He's a man you can talk to.
Now, don't misunderstand me. In spite of all the enthusiasm for them and all the articles you've read about what a good fellow he is, Dukakis is not perfect.
Okay.
And I have to confess here in the Atlanta Omni, the home of the Atlanta Hawks,
Yeah, I have to think that's I mean, like, if I had to die anyways, I would rather see some cool shit before I died.
Dukakis is absolutely obsessed about...
Jennifer Wink 1718
Oh,
just
no.
resubscribed for 6 months.
It's not going to happen. Not over here. Nope. You'll be banned from the den.
the Boston Celtics.
He says he's a fan of the Boston Celtics.
During the recent playoffs, he even broke down his highly regarded discipline to watch the Celtics play on television when he should have been making campaign phone calls. But apart from that,
so he loves the Celtics so much. This isn't like putting him down. This is like trying to say he's like an everyday man, right? He's an everyday guy, whatever, right? He loves basketball so much he probably should have been campaigning, but he had to watch the Celtics play.
Minor flaw. I want you to know that I think this man has the character.
Oh, so now you're bashing me, saying you accidentally subscribe. I would never subscribe to this channel. I did that by accident. Sorry. I get it. I see how you are.
The record,
infiltrator.
And the vision America needs at this moment in our journey. He's the right man for this time.
He's the right man for the right time.
His character is steadfast and consistent.
Everybody that I know that were adults under Bill Clinton, well, I guess the people I actually talked to about it, like I was in the military and shit, some of my command were like, look, you may not like Bill Clinton, but I made more money than I've ever fucking made under Bill Clinton. I had like 5 fucking people tell me that.
And one thing about Mike Dukakis is,
I don't know, I was
he wakes
5.
up in the same world every morning, which is a trait of considerable importance for a president. The thing about Mike Dukakis is, he wakes up in the same world every morning, which is a trait of considerable importance for a president. I found Mike willing to listen.
He wakes up in the same world every morning. That must be a shot at one of the Republicans or something.
An important lesson that we all have to learn, and one that Mike Dukakis and I learned the hard way. We got beat over the head with it.
See, even people in chat are saying the same thing. I don't know. I wasn't old enough to make money, but that's what everybody told me.
You see, we were both elected and then defeated and then given a rare second chance by our people. And I can tell you that does wonders for your sensitivity to others and their points of view. Mike and I met after our defeats. He was teaching at the Kennedy School, and I was the youngest ex-governor in American history.
It doesn't sound like he's putting him down at all, but okay. He said they were both elected, both defeated, whatever. what they're even chanting. The audio's so bad.
All right. Now, I want you all to calm down so I can tell the rest of the country why they should want Mike.
I'm just messing with you.
The first time I met Mike Dukakis, we were both defeated politicians. He was teaching at the Kennedy School, and I was the youngest ex-governor in American history. I was struck even then by the lack of bitterness he felt over his defeat and by his continuing, deep, genuine commitment to public service, whether in or out of public life.
Still good.
As someone who's worked with Mike Dukakis on hard issues in the National Governors Association, as someone who's hammered out compromises with him, who's disagreed with him, who's fought battles by his side, I can tell you one thing. When he needs to be, Mike Dukakis is tough as nails. Of course, if he hadn't been tough, he could never have come back from that defeat.
He's tough.
Most
come
people
back
who
from
are
a
defeated
defeat.
in politics just pull the curtains, yank the phone out of the wall, turn out the lights, and pack it in. But Mike Dukakis isn't that kind of person. He hangs in there.
I swear, like, I don't understand why this guy said he's putting him down.
He's the Democratic Party's marathon man. One of Mike's political opponents in Massachusetts said of him, he has the strongest moral core of any man I ever met in public life. Mike Dukakis believes actions are more important than words. He has a passionate sense that performance matters too. And that's why his fellow governors, including the Republicans, 2 years ago said he was the most effective governor in the entire United States of America. Now, my fellow Democrats, after we nominate Mike Dukakis, when the Republicans take after him, and when they say all those things in the campaign season about his record, you remind them of how all the governors, including the Republicans, voted 2 years ago when there was no presidential politics involved, and they said what they really believe about Mike Dukakis, the governor.
When politics not involved, they said what they really believe. So they talk shit when they're running against him, but when politics are not involved, they all praised him, kind of. So that's good. Yeah, I've seen that before. It's basically the economy performs better during Democratic presidential administrations than Republicans, including like GDP, job growth, unemployment rate. And that's like since like 1950 or some shit.
When Mike Dukakis speaks out for the American family, you can believe him. I have never known a person more devoted to his wife and to his children. He and Kitty are as different as daylight and dark, but they're so good together, and they'll be wonderful role models for our young people. And Kitty Dukakis will be a first lady this whole country will be proud of, and one who will gain respect worldwide.
Except Trump did what?
Now, it's time to tell the people who
Trump added 8.4 trillion, 8.5 trillion, something like that to the national debt.
in this hall why they ought to want him to again.
What's going on?
Mike
How do I get
Dukakis
rid
has
of
a
that?
record that is as strong and solid as his character. I've known him for many years as a governor, but he's also been a soldier and a teacher, and a lawyer and a legislator.
Okay.
He's excelled in all these roles because of his fine mind and his keen interest in the welfare of other people. And Michael Dukakis can speak to more of his countrymen in their native tongues than any person we have ever nominated for the presidency. He speaks in his native Greek, in Italian, and French, and his millions
Yeah, I don't even think that's true.
now know in Spanish. As governor, Michael Dukakis hasn't just played with issues the way some politicians do. He's wrestled them to the ground. He's made the hard decisions to balance budget, to create jobs, to fight crime and drug abuse, to increase daycare and health care, to do all those things that a leader has to do. Michael Dukakis knows how to translate ideas into action.
Seems like he's all right.
News magazines called him the master of innovation. And more than any other governor, he has worked hard to bring good jobs to poor people and poor communities in his state. Long before Mike Dukakis thought he would be running for president.
All still good stuff. He hasn't been mean to him. He hasn't talked shit. He hasn't done anything.
He said to me over and over again, I just don't understand why there is no national strategy, no national leadership to bring to the distressed areas of this country the kind of good opportunities my people in Massachusetts enjoy. It's wrong that nobody's trying to do it, and someone should try. And Michael Dukakis will try. Michael Dukakis believes that all citizens should lead productive lives. His famed welfare reform program, ET, has been a model for national welfare reform for one simple reason. It's taken so many people from the welfare rolls to the work.
Yeah, it seems like if you look at all the data, it seems like Trump inherited a pretty good economy, and a fucking busted economy when he left, which a lot of that has to do with COVID.
Rolls. Now,
I didn't miss that part.
Reason. It's taken so many people from the welfare rolls to the work rolls.
Welfare to work, okay.
Now, Governor Dukakis knows from his own experience, as does every other Democratic governor here tonight, that government cannot solve all problems alone. But unlike the present national administration, Mike Dukakis knows you can't leave the problems alone either. And that's why he's broken new ground in building partnerships with business, with labor, with educators, with local government, with any.
This all sounds great, by the way. And see if he hints to his wife the next year in the future overdosing on rubbing alcohol. I haven't heard that either.
Anybody who would work with him to solve problems and seize opportunities. He's worked with welfare recipients like Ruby Sampson, a single mother who was dependent on welfare for 14 years. Mike helped her to get the education and training she.
Our trickle down economy, is that do people still believe in that? Is that still a valid the trickle down effect or whatever it's called? Like if we give enough tax breaks to the rich, that it'll all trickle down to poor people? Do people still believe that?
Job as an operating room technician. Tonight, Ruby Sampson is not on welfare. She's earning more than $20,000 a year.
Okay, so this person's not on welfare, they're working. So.
He's worked with local officials, like the mayor in Taunton, Massachusetts, to take the unemployment rate in his community from over 14 to under 4%. And he's worked with companies like Morse Tool and Diamond International to keep them open and healthy.
I do think that worked when businesses were owned by people in your community, right? The business you worked at, the factory you worked at was owned by Joe so-and-so, and he lived like 2 streets over or 2 towns over, and everybody in the factory knew everybody. But now that we have like these mega corporations and shit, I just don't think it works. They get wealthier, and they will do anything to they would cutthroat with their employees.
And to save jobs for hundreds of his constituents. Old Mike knows, as the Republicans always say, we may want the government off our back, but we sure do need it by our side. And Michael Dukakis knows that working together works. He's proved that again in this great convention because we're here in unity and poised for victory.
Okay, poised for victory. It's all still good. Where's this horrible attack?
He's a man with a vision, a shining vision for this country. He wants a country with good jobs at good wages. He wants a country where everybody can send their kids to good schools and where they can offer them the opportunity to go to college. He wants a country where working parents have access to good child care for their children. He wants a country where people don't have to go to the poorhouse to get decent long-term care. He wants a country with a clean environment, and yes, he'd like to have a country with a clean government, which once again is devoted to the rule of law.
All good.
Mike Dukakis wants a country that can compete and win in the world economy. He wants a country that can continue the quest for peace. Mike Dukakis, when he's president, will continue to work for arms control by sitting down across the table from Mr. Gorbachev. But as our commander-in-chief, he will see that American interests are strongly represented all across this globe. And any time, my fellow Democrats, because of his character, because of his record, and because of his vision, Governor Michael Dukakis would be a proud standard bearer for our party. But at this critical
good guy, right?
He is the man for all of America.
The guy linked this and said to watch it. He literally says, hold on. I will point you to one of the most astonishing pieces of standalone evidence I've found. Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton's 1998 DNC speech where he nominated Mike Dukakis for president against George H.W. Bush. The speech is vile, mean-spirited roast of Dukakis that makes no sense whatsoever for Clinton to ruthlessly attack a member of his own party. Should have been political suicide. And he repeatedly mocks Dukakis' noble and earnest qualities. I don't get that out of this. Vile, a roast.
The post-World War II era in which we dominated the world economically, politically, and militarily is over. For the rest of the lives of everybody in this great hall tonight, we'll have to compete with people in other countries for new jobs, for new...
So here's a good way to put that. When Trump was elected, the Democrats thought it was literally the worst thing in the world, that the world might end. Right? He'll get us in World War III and do this. So what they did was went out and organized the fuck out of voting. They got people registered. They had rides going. They had people helping. They spread the message that you have to change this or everything's going to be horrible, blah, blah, blah. You know, they put their spin on it, whatever. That's what they do. When Joe Biden got elected, 20, 30, 40% of the Republicans just pretending like it wasn't real. Like, nope. When instead they should have been organizing and planning and getting people out there the same way the Democrats did.
Businesses for technological breakthroughs. And as the painful experience of the last decade has proved, we won't win if we're not prepared. The Republicans' main claim to the White House in 1988 is that in the face of this competition, they produced a 5-year recovery. Well, that recovery let a lot of middle class and poor people out. It was financed by a sea of borrowed money, and it ignored or aggravated some very, very harsh realities. The huge government and trade deficits, the rising class of poor people in this country, almost all of them young women and their little kids, an epidemic of social problems, the loss of our competitive position in low-wage, low-skilled industries, in import-sensitive jobs, in energy and mining and agriculture, and even in some high-tech areas. Left unattended, these difficulties will compromise not only our children,
nothing's happening,
but our own. In the first half of this decade, for the first time in my lifetime, only 4 in 10 of our people had an increase in their income. 20% stood still, and 40% of the American working people endured a reduction in their standard of living, and it's wrong. We used to believe, as President Kennedy told us, that a rising tide lifts all economic boats. Well, today's tide is drowning 4 in 10 of our fellow Americans who've fallen overboard, and the Republican crew of the ship won't even throw a lifeboat to the women and children.
Okay. I think he's doing a hell of a job introducing this guy.
See these developments as proof positive that our country is in decline. You can go into the bookstores here in Atlanta and buy bestsellers confidently predicting that we're on the downhill slide because we either can't or we won't do anything to stop it. Michael Dukakis doesn't believe that for a minute. He thinks America's best days are ahead of it, and he knows we have faced and overcome greater challenges before.
Okay. I think the early polling against, I think Donald Trump was like, his odds were like 12-1 for him winning the president or whatever. But that was all super early. The closer it got to election time, like one poll was like Clinton was like a 4-point favorite. Right? Like it was pretty fucking close the closer it got to election time.
Michael Dukakis is an apostle of hope. Last night, when Jesse Jackson gave that awesome, wonderful speech, many of you waved signs with his slogan,
okay.
Keep hope alive. In his own way, Mike Dukakis will never let us forget
Andrew?
Jesse's admonition. He knows we all have to be apostles of hope. And he knows there's a reason to hope. As the scripture reminds us, we must not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we don't lose heart. Michael Dukakis won't lose heart. He is a builder who wants to build a bridge to tomorrow, a bridge strong enough to carry our heaviest load, a bridge wide enough for all of us in this great country to walk across together, a bridge long enough to take us into the 21st century.
There you go,
He's got a big
long
job to do,
bridge.
and we have to help him. His economic challenge is to revitalize America, reducing our debt, making us more competitive, enlisting the help of other countries, working to relieve the awful burdens of our hundreds of millions of neighbors in Latin America whose futures are so closely bound to ours. This is an ambitious agenda, but Michael Dukakis has great ambitions for America. And even if he carries it off, we still have to be concerned because economics alone will not take us where we need to go. Why? This is the most important case for the Dukakis election. Why? Because of all the advanced economies in the world, we here in America do the worst job of developing our most precious resource, our people. We let more babies die than others do. A child born in Costa Rica tonight has a better chance of living to be a year old than a child born in the nation's capital. We stand idly by while more of our children have children than others do, swelling the ranks of the truly disadvantaged.
Okay.
We accept far more adult illiteracy than others do, even though we know that 80% of the workforce in the year 2000 is already working. And we know that when workers can't read, eventually they'll have to pay for it, and we will too. We tolerate more homeless children than others do, degrading the most blameless among us. We live in the only advanced country in the world that's still in the dark ages when it comes to child care. That means we have lower productivity on the job and higher stress in the home. Our school dropout rates are twice those of our competitors. Those of our children who do finish school are 2 years behind their competitors in Japan and Europe in learning. All those kids that are going to be competing with ours for the good job Mike Dukakis.
I haven't heard anything negative or anything about alcohol either.
Our young people want to go to college, but they can't afford to go. You might ask, if you're looking at this on television, what has this got to do with me? If I've got a job or my business is in good shape or my kids in college, why should I worry? I'll tell you why. Because the children that are in trouble tonight are the workers of tomorrow, and if they can't do the jobs of tomorrow, we're all going to suffer, and America will not be able to fulfill its dream and its destiny. I want, and you want.
I don't think he's gonna verify this guy's shit.
Overwhelmingly for this reason. Mike Dukakis knows we don't have a single solitary person to waste. I want him to be president because he cares that 1 in 4 children under 5 are living below the poverty line, and that without preschool education and good health care, their futures will be cheated and so will ours. I want him to be president because he understands today a middle-class family has to spend a lot more of its income to send a child to college than he and I had to spend when we went a generation ago. And he thinks government will help make up the difference. I want him to be president, and listen to this, because he knows one big reason there are so many families that are homeless is that since 1980, the Reagan administration has reduced new housing starts by 800%, and the children are on the street as a result of it. I want him to be president because he feels the pain of a mother who leaves for work every day worried sick because her child is not in a good child care center because of the government's feeble efforts to provide affordable daycare. And I want him to be president because he not only knows and cares about these problems, but because he'll do something about them. He's proved over and over and over again that he can make a difference in people's lives. Just as he did in Massachusetts, President Dukakis will insist that we all become partners in forging America's future.
I was confused. I thought he said he was going to Burning Man the concert, not he was going to become Burning Man.
That we share the responsibility so we can share the glory. Mike Dukakis will have some interesting partners, business partners like Eugene Lang, a wealthy New York businessman who decided to keep hope alive in his old Harlem elementary school by offering all those poor children who stay in school a scholarship to college. Most of them took him up on his offer, and President Dukakis will spread and share his dream. Michael Dukakis will have teaching partners. Teaching partners like Jaime Escalante, the hero of the movie Stand and Deliver, whose entire class of 4 students in East Los Angeles stunned the education world by passing the advanced placement calculus test, a tribute to a teacher who knows all children can learn and who believes that children will perform at the level of our expectations. When it comes to education, President Dukakis will stand and deliver.
Okay.
He'll have public service partners like Mary Nadelman, the president of the Children's Defense Fund, who's waged a long bipartisan battle for early investment in our children, reminding us that we can invest in them now or pay for neglecting them later. Mike Dukakis knows we should invest in our children while they still have a future. He'll have political partners like Senator Lloyd Bentsen, who built a successful business and then went back into politics because Lloyd Bentsen wanted to preserve our free enterprise system and our national defense so that others could have the same success he's had. And he'll have political partners like Jesse Jackson, who long ago, before he ever was thinking of running for president, went with me into the schools in Little Rock in the late 70s to tell those children to say no to drugs and to open their brains and not their veins. Like Jesse Jackson, Mike Dukakis has worked for drug-free schools. And like Jesse Jackson, Mike Dukakis knows it's not...
Open your brains, not your veins.
These kids have to be able to say yes to life. They have to be able to say yes to life. A few weeks ago, the police in Detroit, Michigan, broke a huge crack ring. And I'm sorry to say, the ring was being run by 2 people from my state. They came from the poorest part of Arkansas, and they had brought over 100 young men up there to help them peddle dope in the big cities. The news stories were very touching. You know what they said? We brought these kids up here from the country because they're more reliable than these street-smart city kids. They'll give us a good day's work for a good day's pay on the streets. I can't help wondering, when I think of that county they came from, 20% unemployment, 50% unemployment for black teenagers. If Michael Dukakis had had 8 long years to fulfill his commitment of good jobs for all of our people everywhere they live, I wonder if those kids had been willing to trade drugs for money. Maybe they would have said no to drugs and yes to life if Mike Dukakis had been president the last 8 years. My friends, we are moving into a future that will richly reward learning and achievement and innovation. And it will punish harshly ignorance and waste and the pursuit of short-term profit at the expense of long-term growth. We need a president who understands this, and Michael Dukakis does. This case for Michael Dukakis rests upon the acceptance of 2 simple ideas. The first is that we are all in this fight for the future together. That the future of the entrepreneur in Colorado and the investment banker in New York, whether they know it or not, is bound to the drought-ridden, debt-ridden farmers in North Dakota and the poorest black school child in Mississippi. And the second simple idea is that we have always got to be willing to pay the price today for our children's tomorrow. I had a professor in college who told me that the sole reason for America's greatness was that our people have always believed the future could be better than the present, and that we've always done what it took to secure it. And he said, look, if we ever get to the point where our parents don't prefer their children's future to their present, we've had it, and don't you ever forget it. Michael Dukakis will never, never, never forget it.
The fuck?
In closing.
Oh, they're happy he's closing finally.
I want you to remember.
What are you talking about? He ushered in a rainbow party. What the fuck?
I want you to remember.
Like the urban legend rainbow parties? Like that video of Oprah talking about it?
That when Michael Dukakis becomes president in November, the people of Massachusetts and this country will observe the 25th anniversary of John Kennedy's death. But his election will be a tribute to John Kennedy's life and legacy. When John Kennedy died, Abba Eban, the great Israeli statesman, said this one sentence: tragedy is the difference between what is and what might have been. Michael Dukakis has spent his whole life closing the gap between what is and what might have been. He'll stand and deliver for us. He'll build the bridge to tomorrow for us. And
yeah, this is not a roast. This is not vile or horrible or demeaning. This, I don't know where this guy gets
this.
He
ought to be president, and to place in nomination the name of the 41st president of the United States, Michael Dukakis from Massachusetts.
Well, we know that didn't happen, obviously. For the Duke. So you guys ever watch old Oprah Winfrey or shows like that where they had like, I don't know if they were being trolled or if they fucking put people up to it or what, or they paid people to do it. But like some of the old talk shows were just clearly people lying, right? They were just clearly people lying. These people aren't, no human acts like this. These things aren't real. So there's a clip of an Oprah Winfrey show talking about a rainbow party. And basically she says that, this is from like early 2000s. I think it was under Bush anyways. But anyway, she says that it was a sex party where young adolescents would show up and the girls would wear different color lipstick and they would take turns sucking the dick of the boys and leave different colored rings around their dick. And that's why they called it a rainbow party, because their dick looked like a rainbow. Like, there's no goddamn way. There's no goddamn way this shit was happening. There's no proof that any of them happened. But Oprah Winfrey had a show on it back in the early 2000s. It was so stupid. But it seems like if you watch old talk shows, I don't know if these people just did it to get on TV, but they're clearly, I mean, still, it's almost like the old talk shows are like what Jerry Springer was, right? You know how Jerry Springer, you can kind of tell like it's all fake, but it's still fun to watch. It's kind of trashy. That's what the old talk shows were like. They were like, I don't know, the stupidest shit. And when they asked these, especially when you do kids, because they didn't even make up like good stories because they were young, I guess. They didn't even make up good stories. So like when they would ask these kids questions, like this super satanic gothic kid or this like gang kid. They didn't even know what they were talking about. It was like the shock factor, like satanic panic stuff. Hold on. Yeah, it says a rainbow party is a supposed group sex event featured in an urban legend spread since the early 2000s, a variant of other sex party urban myths. The stories claimed that these events, allegedly increasingly popular among adolescents, girls wearing various shades of lipstick and lip gloss, take turns filleting boys in sequence, leaving multiple colors resembling a rainbow on their penises. The idea was publicized on the Oprah Winfrey Show in 2003. And became the subject of the 2005 juvenile novel called Rainbow Party. Sex researchers and adolescent healthcare professionals have found zero evidence for the existence of rainbow parties and consequently attribute the spread of the stories to moral panic, which was basically like what all these talk shows were. They were just moral panic all the time, every day. I wonder if somebody's clipped all this. I know I've seen them, people going through like old video files. What would you call them? Old talk show. They clearly fucking fake. Like not even close to being real. It was just the stupidest shit where they'd have these fucking kids on there. Like this, like I said, like some of them, I remember the Rainbow Party, the super gothic girl, like super crazy racist. Like it's just not even legit. I had to find some of these for you on old talk shows like Oprah or Sarah Jesse Raphael, shit like that. I wonder if anybody's got clips. Here's one from Maury. The Zebra Club causes moral panic on Maury. Let's grab this and see what it is. I've never watched this before, but I'm assuming it's what we're talking about.
Tasteless place across the street from your house. Bottomless, tasteless place across the street from your house. And those of you who have it, speak out, speak up. Say we don't want it, move somewhere else. Secondly, they are infringing on our sacred place and space. A church operates not just on Sunday, as is true of a temple, as is true of a mosque. We operate inside and outside practically every single day of the year. Thirdly, our community is saying in agreement, hey, yeah, you're right, you have a legal stand. But listen, please respect us. Don't offend us. And that's exactly what they did.
What do you think of Joy here?
I don't know Joy.
Is she perpetuating?
I don't know Joy, but I would say this, and this is a very generic statement because I don't know her background or history, but I feel sorry for someone who thinks of themselves as a thing meant to entertain men.
Well, let me tell you, I used to sell real estate, okay? The real estate market went down. I have an 11-year-old daughter that I have to take care of. How do you expect...
So she's a nude dancer at the Zebra Club.
Joy, I like this story.
I think Joy's making
Sally, Jess, I was saying Sarah, so I can't even remember their names.
A very good point here. She has an 11-year-old daughter, okay? This isn't just some floozy off the street. This is a professional woman who has professional choreographer to help her dance.
Stripping to support a child. There are other ways you can go out and find a job to support children.
But this is what I choose to do.
You don't have to take off your clothes and justify it to support a child.
But I choose to do
The children are the ones that are being affected too, because if the possibility exists that underage children are being in that bar, if the possibility,
You're right. You are correct. You have chosen this, but every single human being has consequences to their choices. Just because you made that decision, which I respect, you don't have the right to impose it on me. If you decided to do this, do it, but not in front of me, not in front of my house.
You see, Maury,
right on.
The difference
I know there's a really famous one with like a super gothic girl, and she doesn't even make sense. The shit she's saying. Well, I guess I'll just worship Satan or something. Like, it's just so crazy.
The bottom line is that today, the Catholic Church across the street has said, we find nudity in the confines of a closed building to be offensive. I have heard the Catholic Church speak against homosexuals, and they find that...
Hold on. Let's see what this one is. Someone just said homosexuals. That's my cue. Where's Nick Alvear when you need him?
Oh, Ricky, it's awful. You ought to see my daughter.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Every mother's dream. Why blend in?
Who's the fairest of them all?
I'm having so much fun. I have to rebel. I have to.
Moms who say if you don't look good...
She looks like a freak. Belongs in the circus.
We don't look good.
Sweetheart, you get the crap off your face, put some clothes on, or there is no more friends for college. Ouch!
Next, Ricky Lake.
Jenny Jones is one. You're right.
Our guests, they have tattoos, body piercings, dyed hair, spikes through their faces. You name it, they've got it. But their mothers think they look like they belong in a circus. These guests are here to confront their.
Like I don't know if they did it. I don't know if they were paid. I don't know if they did it just to get press. I don't know what the fuck they did it for.
You think I look like a sideshow freak? But chill out, because I look cool.
You think so the title of this was "You Think I Look Like a Sideshow Freak, but chill out, because I look cool." The Jenny Jones show is one, yeah. So like one of them was like a little gang kid, and they're like, "Well, where do you do this gang activity?" And he's like, "I don't know, in the city." And he's like, "Do you have a gun?" He's like, "No, yeah, I got multiple guns. I got a bunch of guns." It's just so stupid.
Welcome, everyone. You change your hair color once a week. You have so many piercings that your body has more holes than Swiss cheese. You wear only rubber and latex clothing, and you think that you look fine. This is exactly how my guests.
It was like it's moral panic, I guess. It's satanic panic is clearly about Satanism. Moral panic is just about, oh my God, what's society doing now? Kids are wearing black clothing.
With her daughter Mikey's freaky appearance that she kicked her out of her house. Dee Dee, before we meet your daughter, tell us, how does she look?
Oh, Ricky, it's awful. You ought to see my daughter. She looks like a freak.
Or here's another option. Maybe they show up to the show with a normal story, right? That's kind of like believable, but they're like, oh no, we're going to have to pump that up. I need you to say this. It's almost like they have practice lines sometimes and stuff, but when it gets to the conversation part at the end, it always falls apart.
She's got the ultimate color of hair almost every day of the week. She changes it.
What is it? What color is it now?
It's electric blue.
Making you proud, Mom.
Oh, every mother's dream, let me tell you.
So what, is this breaking your heart?
It's breaking my heart, and it's also letting me see that my daughter has no future for college or for her profession that she's chosen.
Wait. Because of the way she looks. Wait, you're disagreeing with what she's saying.
You gotta love your daughter regardless of who she is. You're the main source of motivation for her to go to the future. Gotta let her represent. You have to be behind anything she does. Represent her. That's your daughter. You carried her for 9 months. Love her. I love your daughter. I never even met her.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if you keep that same attitude after you see the way Mikey looks, all right? Shall we meet Mikey? Mikey, come on out.
Look at him.
Of her own style, but you know what, Mom? I disagree. It's not.
Oh, they did? Do you think they pumped them up or something, made them more like? And it's weird. Like they know their lines, and it's almost like they have these catchphrases. They try to. They're not actors, right? They're regular people. So when they try to stick in a line, it's just like so obvious that line doesn't belong there, kind of.
It's more like a purple, right? What do you think about what your mom said? She's embarrassed.
Well, what do I say? She's embarrassed? Well, I think she's gonna get over it. Plain and simply. No. She's just gonna have to deal with it.
So tell us, what have you done to your body? You have piercings?
I have piercings, tattoos, change my hair color once a week. Just whatever I can.
And do you do it? Why do you do it? Do you do it for the attention?
Well, coming from a conservative state, I have to rebel. I have to. I cannot be like everybody else. There's no way. I mean, beauty's only skin deep. I like to have fun. All it is just pure fun.
What do you think? Do you guys have a problem with the way she looks? No. Okay, but wait. You say no, but if you saw her walking down the street, you wouldn't point fingers and make fun or... No? And so you still hold the same opinion before?
Definitely.
You'd be proud of her if she was your daughter?
Definitely.
I mean, you still, through the wacky look, you still are a gorgeous girl.
Very beautiful.
Yes, sir. What do you want to say?
Yes, I think it's a phase she's going through. She looks pretty and you're beautiful. Stay like that.
How long has this phase lasted, Mom?
This has been going on for 7 years.
Ooh, that's a pretty long phase. What do you want to say to your daughter? Turn to her and tell her what this all is doing to you.
Mikey, you know Mama loves you, but I'm here to tell you today, sweetheart, you get the crap off your face, put some clothes on, or there is no more funds for college.
No more fun. That was that was it right there, the kicker. No more funds for college.
Mikey, what do you think about that? She's about to cut you off because of how you look.
Well, if she's gonna be this upset over the way I look, then she's gonna have to get over. I mean, why? It's just the look. I do not do drugs. I do not drink. I'm not promiscuous in any way whatsoever. I'm intelligent.
Somebody has to get some of these best clips and make a YouTube video. It's called "What the Fuck Was Going On with the Old Talk Shows."
Why this extreme?
Why not? Why not? I mean, why blend in? Why look like everybody's walk down the street and not even be noticed? So he wants me to come to you and say, hey, you're different. You're neat. People come up and talk to me just because of the way I look. I made a lot of friends.
All right, yes.
I just like to ask Mikey, what type of satisfaction do you get out of body piercing and dyeing your hair?
Oh, tons of satisfaction. I'm satisfied with the way I look, who I am as a person. I'm satisfied with my peers. I mean, I love it.
Wait, but doesn't it hurt? Ouch!
Yes.
Ouch!
Well, that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun, is the pain. You get natural endorphins.
Wait. Pain is fun?
You get a rush. You're just so excited. It's the most exciting thing ever.
Could it be
even some modern ones, I think, are faked or at least pushed over the top. We've seen even like people that go viral from being on like Dr. Phil and shit. Clearly, they're pushing it to the extreme limit. I don't think they believe those things or say those things just to get traction, just to be talked about, just to go viral.
The excitement comes from the fact that you are majorly making your mom PO'd in a big way.
I don't know, maybe, but I mean, most of it I think is the community I live in. I like that more. I think.
Mom, do you feel like you failed as a mom?
I know I was a good mom to Mikey, but when she does this to me,
isn't there an episode of? There's an episode of Family Guy. There's an episode of Family Guy where Marilyn Manson comes on and talks to Chris about being gothic.
Well, here they
or
are,
something.
Marilyn Manson, Twiggy Ramirez, and Madonna Wayne Gacy. And you call yourselves, you're Marilyn Manson because?
Because that's my name.
Twiggy? And Madonna Wayne Gacy.
Yes.
You're not going to help us understand the...
Oh, you want to understand where the name came from?
Phil Donahue.
I've always watched talk shows. I haven't got to watch yours very often, though. I watch more of the trashier ones, but I found that Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson, about 5 years ago when I thought of this, were the two most memorable people from the 60s. I thought it was interesting that things like talk shows put them on the same kind of celebrity status. And I thought that dichotomy of positive and negative, putting those two names together.
Oh, I'm sure you do, legend.
What I had to say and what I was about.
You wanted to ask?
Well, first of all, I want to say how sorry I am for the parents. And second of all, to the young people, I think it's probably a wonderful way to feel involved and to be part of something.
I think they brought them on here because these parents basically were claiming like Marilyn Manson ruined my children.
And dancing is a wonderful way to get out your frustration. The only problem I have is the hurting. I'm sure that there's a much better way to get out your energy than hurting other people.
You don't go out. In response to that, you don't go out intentionally to hurt anybody. Yeah. If somebody gets hurt in the process, then so be it. That just comes with the territory. But you don't actually go into the pit and say, yeah, well, look at that guy. Maybe I'm going to go bust his nose. That's not how it works. That's not how it happens.
So they're talking about a mosh pit, right? I can't believe you're out there hurting people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
About anybody. You're just getting out what supplies you.
Right.
You're not aiming at anybody in particular.
Yes. Mr. Manson, may I call you Mr. Manson?
Sure.
From Seconds Magazine, you're quoted as saying, you have to take responsibility. You reap what you sow, and you have to clean up after yourself. I'm sick of people always trying to blame movies, bands, songs, or talk shows for whatever. Teen suicides, drug overdoses, everything else. If someone's stupid enough to kill themselves because of a song, then that's exactly what they deserve. They weren't contributing anything to society. It's one less
hot take
idiot in the world. There's too many people. If more people killed themselves over music, it wouldn't disappoint me. It would disappoint me in that it's said that people are that stupid.
Exactly.
Oh, hot take, baby, hot take.
I want to know.
Dude, I don't know why, but it seems like every middle school in the world had a rumor that for some reason Marilyn Manson had some ribs removed so he could suck his own dick. I have no idea why that was the rumor in my school, and every other person I've talked to around my age, it was the rumor in their school. The rumor was Marilyn Manson had ribs removed to suck his own dick, and everybody knew it. Everybody.
Why it is that all of you seem to have satanic signs all over you, and what is it that does this music cause you to do what you do?
Is that directed at us or the parents?
That's funny. Twiggy. That's your little tape recorder.
Okay. To do what we do. We cause the music to do what it does, I think.
Yeah.
I think that moshing is a sign of what Christians would call the apocalypse. The culture is just getting more and more destructive, and I think it...
Well, that's how, what is his name? Damn it. What is his name? Dick Masterson. That's how Dick Masterson got started. You guys know that, right? Dick Masterson talk show. So he went in as this super like I don't know. What is he, like a traditional, like women are weaker, dumber, women. Here it is. on Dr. Phil. That's how Dick Masterson is a good example. Here he is.
Now.
How about you?
I think I'm having a better impact in the world right now.
You're not saying that you're perfect.
Absolutely not.
So what could you do better?
I think the best thing we can do is focus on our goals, which I'm doing. My philosophy before I came into the Dr. Phil house is that men are better than women. Now I couldn't agree with myself more. Just because what I say sounds harsh doesn't mean necessarily that actions based on it are.
As I predicted, you really don't have a change
that's Dick Masterson right there.
This is pretty much
he's like a internet celebrity or whatever.
Marketing thing for you.
I can't say that it's not a marketing thing, but I did come into this with an open attitude, and everything I say about women has come true in this house. When Dr. Phil challenged my motives for being here, that left an impression with me because it appeared to me like he didn't respect my reasons for being here. And a man like
this is the 5th episode. Where's the first one? That's the one we need. Hold on, Dick Masterson. We need number 1 because he come in hot, calling people out. Dr. Phil's main camp. Dick Masterson going on Dr. Phil and trolling as a misogynist. Oh God. He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't even a fucking. He wasn't even a misogynist. Here it is, number 1.
But this is not the one, I can tell you that for sure. This is what I'm afraid of.
No, but he doesn't even know who he is. This is a commercial enterprise for him. Yeah.
That's not entirely fair, I think.
You have absolutely no motivation to change because you're trying to sell tickets.
Dr. Phil accused me of being here to sell my book, which of course I am. But that doesn't mean you don't have to answer to the claims I'm making.
About women, obviously. Dick Master, that's a playlist. Let's see. Men are better than women at 3 minutes.
There's nothing more liberating and freeing to a woman than chauvinism. A woman has no responsibilities because I don't expect her to get anything right. All women are whores. They trade sex for money. They trade sex for cars. How is prostitution illegal?
See, that's the way he got on the show, was being this over-the-top person that no one would ever really be, right? And that's the way he got on the fucking show. So that makes sense that that's what they're still doing and used to do and do today.
Alimony isn't. They're basically the same thing. You're paying for the whore to leave. A penny saved is a woman fired. Women make horrible employees.
A penny saved is a woman fired.
Should not be allowed to vote. It's ridiculous. A woman president would be a disaster. Women know in their hearts that women cannot make decisions. A woman would never vote for Hillary Clinton. She embarrassed herself by not pleasing her man, essentially. And women know it. Oh, women are only good for having kids. Unfortunately, they're not.
We can say Dick Masterson predicted that Hillary Clinton would win.
Very good at raising them. Hitler was raised by a single mother. Men have created everything you see in the world. Men invented electricity. Men invented cures for diseases. Every brick you see is there because a man put it there. The only thing women really do with their time is spend men's money. Men, this is what you look like to a woman. This is all they're after. Women can't do math. They can't be organized. Can't lead a company. They can't take...
I mean, it sounds rough, but it's just so true.
Risks. They can't drive for crap. You can't blame women for what they do wrong in the same way that you can't blame a dog for what it does wrong. It's your fault for not training it properly. Oh, come on. The booing sounds distinctly high-pitched.
You think?
Yeah, there's a lot of men that agree with me, I think, that I didn't hear from.
And by the way, he's not an actor. I know that this is so outrageous.
So Dr. Phil immediately says he's not an actor, but then later on the episode says he's 100% an actor. He's just trying to sell his book.
That you would think, okay, he's a plant here to typify.
They're all fucking plants, bro.
The really ridiculous. But your whole life is centered around, you even have a website, menarbetterthanwomen.com.
I have a website, menarbetterthanwomen.com. I educate thousands of new men daily to the art of chauvinism.
Do you agree that you're judgmental?
Sure, I think everyone is.
Yeah, and because we asked you several questions. You said if you see a woman driving an expensive car, she's owned by somebody.
Paid for. Absolutely.
And what do you mean when you say lesbians are faking it?
Yeah, all women are lesbians.
Sorry.
They do it to get attention. The act of sex cannot exist without a man.
What did you say? Yes, ma'am. Stand up right here. Okay, who's this directed to?
The gentleman in the glasses that hates women. I want to know if he ever had a date.
Hold on.
Or if he's ever been with anybody.
I don't hate women. Now, I'm sure you have multiple blouses and multiple pairs of pants at home, but you chose these because they were your favorite. They were better than the others. That doesn't mean you hate the ones you didn't wear. I don't hate women.
What does that have to do with having a date?
Men are better than women.
That's not my answer to my question. Take those stupid glasses off.
I'm sure Dr. Phil can back me up on
it.
this.
Show us how you look.
Women line up to date guys like me, and you've had them all on your show.
I don't see any women lined up at all. I don't see any women lined up to you, and I would definitely be in that line.
Outrage sales,
a little more, you'd be at the front. What was that?
I didn't hear you because I'm sure it was something.
She said, So he's like, I wouldn't be in that line. He said, well, if you hit the treadmill a little bit more, you'd be at the front of it.
Stupid. I'm glad I didn't hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't either. Yes.
Truth hurts. Men are better than women.com.
This is not the one, I can tell you that for sure. This is what I'm afraid of.
Mab TW.
Dick obviously makes no bones about being a chauvinist, while Shirley has written men off completely. So I decided to send them out on a social experiment.
So they basically, this was Dr. Phil doing Big Brother, right? He made them all live together.
To see who Dick and Shirley would select as a potential match for each other.
I'm looking forward to this because I get an excuse to check out girls all night.
I don't want to ask you what you look for in a woman because I want it to be my perception.
Close your eyes then because we're driving through Hollywood and the billboards are going to clue you in. I'm going to pick a guy for Shirley who looks wholesome, maybe even someone high up in the church.
Are you?
No, have a seat. This is part of chauvinism.
Now she's cute. Little legs.
This is part of chauvinism.
She a lot of things.
She's a little out of your league, but I didn't mean that as an insult.
Right.
She probably wouldn't go out with you.
Really?
Well, I mean, if she wasn't into money, she would be cute for you.
Shirley agrees with a number of my views, whether she admits it or not. She said a woman was out of my league simply because I wasn't rich enough. That's what I say all the time. Women are just after money. I think I look cool. Well dressed.
Wearing worn shoes. Man's got to wear nice, expensive loafers, Italian loafers, and he's good to go. Neither one. They're not big enough for you. Am I right?
Can they be? When it comes down to it, Shirley.
Those tits aren't big enough for you. Can they be?
On her assessment of what I would like to date. You know what? That guy's perfect for you. He's classy. He's got a full head of hair. That guy's a great guy. I think you'd be able to rely on him. Where you haven't been able to rely on him in the past.
He's probably married. The older gentleman would have been nice, but his voice pitch was really high. And then I saw him drinking hard liquor, which would have been a turn off to me.
If she writes off guys for either having funny voices, not wearing the right kind of shoes for her, or the last excuse was that all the good guys are married, then yeah, she's doomed to be alone.
I don't think that Dick really
doomed to be alone.
He likes to pretend, but there's a lot deep down inside there that Dick's not showing.
As opposite as these two.
Hi guys, I don't know. I think they're fake, and this all started from the Rainbow Party thing, which was, I mean, I think most people agree. I looked that up years and years ago when I first heard about it. Well, I saw the Oprah Winfrey clip. I don't know if that's hold on, Oprah. I didn't see it on YouTube. I saw it on a, it might have even been like an animated GIF with caption at the bottom. I can't remember. Toss salad and rainbow. Sorry.
In that way, everybody has another life that your parents are not aware of, and maybe it's not, having, sex after school, but everybody has another life. The way your friends know you is not the way your parents know you. Right. Correct? Exactly. Yeah. Yes. So you say, let's talk about that secret language, Michelle. Yes. I didn't know any of this. I've got a whole new vocabulary. Any of this. Salad tossing, cucumbers, lettuce, tomatoes.
Salad tossing. Make sure you get my cucumbers.
Okay, so what is a salad toss? A toss salad is, get ready, hold on to your underwear for this one, oral anal sex. So oral sex to the anus is what toss salad is.
Look at how outraged they are. I eat ass.
Okay. A rainbow party is an oral sex party. It's a gathering where oral sex is performed, and rainbow comes from all of the girls put on lipstick, and each one puts her mouth around the penis of the gentleman or gentlemen who are there to receive favors and makes a mark in a different place on the penis.
This wouldn't even work, dude. This wouldn't even work. It wouldn't even work.
Hence the term rainbow. So, okay. And so what does pretty boy mean?
Got that rainbow cock.
Boy is a sexually active boy, someone who's been fairly promiscuous. So it isn't maybe what you would have thought pretty boy meant in your time. Dirty means what? Does dirty mean means a diseased girl? And along with that, the term that some teens are using to mean HIV is high five. High, and then the Roman numeral B, high five. So if you got
we watched Bum Five.
High five by Jack. You got disease by Jack.
He gave you HIV.
He gave you HIV. Yeah.
So that means you shouldn't go around saying to little kids anymore. I was like a little boy. I went, give me high five.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that anymore.
And
right?
suddenly your kids got diseased by Jack. Teens are using to mean HIV is high five, high, and then the Roman numeral B, high five. So if you got high fived by Jack, you got diseased by Jack.
He gave you HIV.
He gave you HIV. Yeah.
So that means you shouldn't go around saying to little kids anymore. I was like a little boy. I went, give me high five.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that anymore. Right?
So there you have it. Oprah admitting that she asked a minor child, a little boy, to give her HIV.
Your kids want to make salad all the time. You should be wondering.
Okay. And booty call.
If your kids want to make salad, I'd really love to toss that salad tonight, Mom.
It's pretty common,
right?
That's pretty pervasive. Yeah, that's an early morning or late at night call for sex that involves no real relationship. Maybe 2 a.m. guy calls girl and says, meet me at so-and-so location. We have sex, we leave. Booty call.
Y'all knew that.
Y'all got that, right?
Okay.
Booty call. Okay.
And then there's the term,
this is where the world was introduced to booty call.
hoovering, which is a term used for a girl having an abortion. Yes, you get the reference. The sucking is a term used for a girl having an abortion. We leave. Booty call.
Y'all knew that.
Y'all got that, right?
Okay.
And then there's the term hoovering, which is
a hoovering. Hoovering is an abortion.
Term used for a girl having an abortion. Yes, you get.
The only reason they're making that face and not a much more enjoyable face is because they're not currently having their salad tossed. That's right.
The reference, the sucking of a Hoover vacuum. She's having herself vacuumed out, so to speak. So these were just a few of the terms that I, heard teens referring to. I got a whole new vocabulary book.
So what would happen when they would say she got hoovered? Well, if somebody, you're talking to somebody in the beginning before you got so hip here.
Yeah, before I got hip.
What would you, if somebody said you got hoovered, you would just say, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean? What does hoovering mean? And she'd tell me.
Are rainbow parties pretty common?
I think so, at least among the 50 girls that I talked to.
Yeah, super common. The rainbow parties, yeah. You ought to see all the little boys' penises in different colors.
It's pervasive.
Yeah. And what are the guys saying about all this?
Well, I didn't talk to guys, but certainly in the experiences that I've had in talking to the boys, they don't see sex.
A dirty Sanchez means you really like attending Catholic masses and you never have sex.
And this should be no surprise to any of us in the same way that girls see it. They don't see it as a way to feel closer or to have the kind of intimacy that maybe a girl is looking for. They see it as a way to earn stripes or be cool with the other guys. And let me tell you something, girls are doing more giving than they are getting. They are giving the boys the oral sex. Absolutely. Some of the boys aren't even asking them for it. And they are.
That's why God gave them all those holes.
Offering it.
Really?
Yes.
And they don't consider that to be sex?
They don't consider that to be sex. They consider that to be outer course as opposed to intercourse. So if your child is having outer course, they're not talking about coursework in history. Okay?
Next, the average American child is exposed to over 14,000 sexual references per year. We'll show you some of them.
Dude, this is so much fear clickbait. This is clickbait from back then, right? Before there was clickbait. This stuff's stupid. All right, guys, I'm out. Thank you, guys. I still got to get on the treadmill. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll try to be around this weekend. I do have to repair some vehicles, get them ready, get them listed to sell. My dad's estate is finally cleared, so I can do stuff with it. Now I've just been leaving it sitting there because I don't even like to go there. But I got to get some stuff taken care of and get it out of the way. So I'll be there this weekend, but I'll try to come by and do a show afterwards at nighttime. But I probably won't be much in touch during the day, I guess. I probably won't be around Telegram or Discord or anything. So thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Yeah, support the show. If coldbeer.fund ever starts working again, go support the show while we're offline. Make a contribution. That'd be great. That's how we run the show. So thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. We'll see everybody on the next one. Have a good night. And don't do anything Oprah would do because it's probably a clickbait lie. Or trafficking children. Oh, coldbeer.fund's back up. Sweet.
This douchebag happens to
go support the show. Have a good night, guys.
Have the fork and balls to call out the people on this planet by name and
It must have had something to do with my hosting, maybe, because it's working fine now.
You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott. Here we go. I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better.
Yeah, have a good show.
Cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit.
Oh, it looks like it was uploading the little cookies disclaimer or whatever, where you have to accept cookies on all websites now. Looks like that's what it was. Because it's changed now, and the website was down for a little bit.
Equipped with a quick wit and a sixth sense for the stupid shit. Where my true believer? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord, head to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshiping drums, cocking, begging for a throat.
I'm going to try to get on a talk show. What could I make up? Why did it take away my eat shit you lost? It pulled that away, didn't it? It's not allowed anymore.
Your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, it wasn't showing up on my side for a while. It was showing. Instead, it was just showing that blue text where it said such and such lost this many and has this many left or whatever.
And saluted the troops. He's happy on the show.
It better be. I want you to know it's time to eat shit.
Wait, stop.
You lost.
What? I'll get my files.
Go to coldbeer.fund. Oh my God. Support the show.
Dude.
Have a good night, everybody.
Seriously. This is my mom's an alcoholic.
Help me retire. I'm tired of doing things. I just want to build things and, I guess, videotape it. We're looking for retirement, boys. That's the next goal.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them beds, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
Get some of that Tori Saz money. Tori says she get like $75,000 to buy her kid's first car or something.
Now things are getting rocking, he was doing so well. It's all over, hands on his